Welcome everybody to another BDA Boxing Podcast. A bit of a late night edition tonight. Lots to talk about. This is Mr. BDA with you as always. And with me, my co-host, King Bucho. King, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Sensational. My goodness gracious. Listen guys, before we begin, if you want to join us, you can do so by going to Google Hangouts and sending us an instant message via the email address that's on the top of your screen, boxingdebate@hotmail.com. That's boxingdebate@hotmail.com. Don't send an email, please. Don't send an email, it's an instant message. You give us a call, give us your email, we can send you a link. Bada bing, bada boom, you're in. You can talk about whatever you want. Talk boxing, non-boxing, whatever. I really don't care. Butcher, do you care?
I don't give a fuck.
That's the spirit. Alright. Sean Newton is in the house. Shout out to Sean Newton. I saw you guys over at Low Places chat. I mean, his hangout that we were having a couple of minutes ago. I don't even know what was going on. I just went in there. I thought they were talking boxing. All of a sudden, they're talking about how Low Place is a... What was the word they used? Ah, yes, coon. Which is a word that's being thrown around all the time nowadays. I'm gonna tell you something. If anybody thinks Low Place and Precise Puncher are in cahoots, as somebody over there was insinuating, I don't think they've listened to this show. And they should, because let me tell you something. I don't want to toot my own horn here, but I think we put on a pretty good show. Yes, sometimes it devolves into gay jokes, dick jokes, and lewd talk about which female reporter we would have coitus with, but you know what? That's how it goes. I don't make the rules. I just follow the flow, see what's going on, and that's how it goes. Alright, what's going on in the chat room? Sayuki Razak says, it's early in the morning here. Sean Newton asks, so 68 versus Precise Puncher? Sayuki Razak says he's in Malaysia. Bucho, is that the country where they, for any little infraction, they put you in jail, or they hit you in the ass with like a bamboo stick?
I think so.
What was that?
Malaysia or Indonesia? I'm not sure which one it is.
I think maybe Indonesia they do that, but there was one that's economically doing very well, and there was that famous case in the 90s, I believe, where some American kid, Stuart, actually did something. And then they sentence him to caning, which is essentially, you know, grabbing a bamboo stick and giving him a couple of squats, you know, in the rear end.
I wish they had that here, man. We need some some discipline, some law and order, man.
Tell me you want to see people getting hit in the ass with a bamboo stick? Is that what you're telling me?
I have a fetish.
You have a fetish? Well, let me tell you what, man. You and I are both on the same wavelength, and let's talk a little boxing.
Yeah, so anyways, I was there at Low Places hangout.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, like it's... They were all like in the... Someone like 68... What's his name? So one of those guys was all on the defensive when you came in.
Really?
Because you said, what's the altercation? It's like, what's the altercation? Like, oh, like you're being all high class or something. It's like, man, like, really?
I didn't even
know
what's...
Who gets pissed off by that? I don't know. Like that. And then...
I don't know.
I don't know, somebody called Gassiev a... Oh, you don't want to get... Okay, let's see. Do you want to get into a race talk here?
No.
Me neither.
I'd rather stick to boxing.
Let's drop that shit. Let's just talk boxing. Man.
I didn't even bring it up. I didn't even bring it up. You did. I didn't even bring it up. You did.
Yes, yeah. Like, Low Place has the balls to debate Precise Puncher. Right.
That's right.
So we gotta give respect to Low Place for that. And just because you debate someone doesn't mean that you have to agree with his views, and especially his views outside boxing.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know why this. See, that's the thing, man. Debate is the key to peace.
Exactly.
To peace, man.
Exactly. Listen, if you don't want to debate, if he doesn't, what's this guy's name? 68. If he doesn't want to debate Precise, that's fine. I mean, that's his right. But then it just devolves into a situation where he talks about Precise talks about him. I don't even know if that's what's going on, first of all. I should clarify. I'm not saying that 68 is talking about For all I know, these guys don't care at all about each other, and they're not even in each other's minds. But debate is a healthy.
And by the way, we don't have any race talk here. Like
well, last
Precise
time
Puncher made a video. Like Precise Puncher made a video on his channel discussing that book about slavery or whatever. But he did it on his channel. Like he didn't do it on the BDA Boxing channel. So we need to get that clear.
Last episode got a little bit into the whole LDBC thing, which I try to avoid that, and we're gonna try. And actually, we're not gonna.
But it wasn't a racist talk. Like we weren't.
But it's about race. But it's about race essentially.
Okay, yeah.
But anyway, I don't want to go into that one again. I want to talk some boxing, especially about what happened this past Saturday. First of all, I had said that Jr-Fortuna was sloppy. And he actually tightened up his game against Robert Easter Jr. Tightened it up, fought a pretty good fight. Such a good fight, in fact, that some people actually think he won the fight. So, I mean, there's sometimes it happens. Sometimes guys can step their game up, and Jr-Fortuna certainly did. Now, I'm wondering now whether that failure to make the weight was actually a tactic from Fortuna's part in order to come in stronger, and I gotta wonder how much of that played a part into his better than expected performance.
Yeah, I didn't score the fight, and I'm gonna tell you I was kind of drinking, but in my opinion, it looked like Easter Jr. might have pulled it off, but he didn't look good, man. But then again, Fortuna is not a bum, right?
No, he's not a bum.
So, but the thing is that before the fight took place, I mean, we were all hyped. Well, a lot of us were like, "Oh shit, Easter Jr. He's this phenomenon." I mean, like he's like.
Whoa. Who said that?
Well, a lot of people were thinking that. Let's be honest, and they were saying that he might be able to beat Lomachenko. His height is something that's pretty impressive. I mean, he's 5'11" and he's a lightweight. So, but anyways, he didn't look that good, and now I don't think people are gonna be talking about Easter Jr. against Lomachenko anytime soon.
Well, I had predicted before the fight. Well, actually predicted. I wanted to see this Jr-Fortuna Easter fight because it was going to tell us a lot about how Easter Jr. handled a southpaw. Somebody with movement, somebody with quick hands, and who was going to give him some interesting angles, a lot like how Vasily Lomachenko fights. And I had said that depending on how the fight goes, obviously, it was going to determine whether Easter Jr. fought Lomachenko or not. Now, of course, that fight can't really happen because of Easter Jr.'s involvement with the PBC and Lomachenko's with Top Rank, and now those two companies, they don't want to get into it at all. So, despite all that, even if the fight could happen, I don't think Easter Jr. would be taking that fight anytime soon. He got caught with too many counter right hands. There was one counter left hand in particular. I should have said counter left hands. There was one counter left hand in particular that seemed to stun him when he had Fortuna on the rope. So, forget about the Lomachenko fight. Best case scenario for him right now, keep fighting some, mandatories, contenders, and let's see if he wins enough fights and maybe he can get a fight against Mikey Garcia. But Lomachenko fight, that would be suicide right now. And that's not to say that Easter Jr. is a bad fighter. He's just not on Lomachenko's level. Okay, what covert operative is saying? BDA, I have interacted with that crowd for years, and trust me, they proliferate aggression to anyone who picks against black fighters. Low place from that crowd is fine. He is not racist. Yeah, I've never had the impression that Low place is a racist. Although BDA, Bucho, you did accuse him that one time where he got really pissed when he said that he used the race card one time.
Yeah, he used it against Lomachenko. And some other fighter. I don't remember which one. Well, he doesn't seem like to be a racist, though. Lopez doesn't seem to be a racist.
No, he really does.
He never called Gassiev a caveman or something like that. So,
well, the guy 68 was 68, right? He said that he didn't mean it, so we got to give him the benefit.
Oh yeah,
of the doubt.
I mean, who knows? I mean, everybody's innocent until proven guilty.
That's what I'm saying. We got to give him the benefit of the doubt. Somebody. Yep. All right, hold on a second. But yeah, what did you make of Fortuna and Robert Easter Jr.?
Well, like I said, Easter Jr. doesn't look like that monster that everybody's talking about. But he's still a good fighter, obviously. Uh, I would say Mikey Garcia beats him now. I mean, before I wasn't sure, but now looking at what Fortuna did, I'm pretty sure Mikey Garcia can knock him out. Well, sorry, not pretty sure, but I'm thinking it's a possibility, big possibility. I mean, this guy can get hit. So
that's the thing. I'd seen a lot of his fights, Easter Junior's fights, and I was analyzing them pretty closely. And yeah, man, I mean, he got hit. Shafikov hit him with a bunch of left hands. Comey Jr., even though he's not a left-hander, but he was. So Eastern Jr. is not a, oh fuck, I didn't want to use the term slick. We said we aren't gonna use that term slick anymore, right? And here I just said that word about what, 3 times now?
Yes.
My goodness gracious, I deserve to get beat in the ass with a cane. That's what I deserve. Thank God I'm not in Indonesia. But anyway, okay. So what's next for Easter Jr.? Do you think they're gonna put him in with an easier guy, or?
I mean, depends on what the PBC has there and fights that can be made. All right, let's put up the rankings. Let's look at it.
Oh, did you send me the rankings, by the way, or?
No, I mean, like, go on BoxRec or something.
Oh, okay.
To look at the lightweight rankings.
Absolutely. You just give me a second here, and of course we're gonna talk about the main event. And actually, some people are shitting on Errol Spence's victory over Lamont Peterson, which in my eyes...
What?
Yeah.
Who's shitting on that, man?
I mean, I don't have any specific names, but I was just reading the comments.
It was a good win. I mean, Spence Jr. did what he had to. I mean, if the fight would have gone 12 rounds, my God, then you would have, like, people would have gone nuts. Like, what the hell? I mean, Spence Jr. isn't that great. All these criticisms would have started, but... no, it was a great. I mean, he did what he had to. He stopped him, and he was never in trouble. Easy win for Spence Jr. You can't say anything. You can't take any credit away from that win.
Now, I gotta call you out on a little something here, because you made a video the next day, and I'm assuming that you made the video after a hard night of drinking, and you said that Peterson should retire because he is finished.
Oh yeah.
So, in other words, that means that the win wasn't all that good.
No, it was a good win.
Are you sure?
I'm saying, for Peterson now, it's like I don't know where he goes from here. He can't. I mean, I don't see him at 154. I mean, who else can he fight? I mean, he's basically he would be a gatekeeper. I don't think he's gonna become a champion at 140. 147 anymore. I don't think he ever was a champion at 147. He wasn't.
No, he was never. So, I don't think so, no.
No, he was never a champion at welterweight. So I don't know where he goes from here. Well, would you like to see him against Peterson? Peterson against Sean Porter or something? But what would be the point, though?
Well, it would be a nice payday for Lamont Peterson, who has fought everybody and has never laid down for anybody.
Somebody wrote, yeah, Peterson should retire.
Hey, check your... Oh shit, I sent it the wrong way. I'm gonna put the rankings up.
Race him. How are you, man?
Great, man. Great.
Now, Ray, give us your impression of...
Disappointment.
Was that?
I can't believe he fucking stood in there and tried to, like, fight him, stand in front of him.
Well, I mean, he tried...
I mean, at least try and box the guy.
Did he try
That's what I thought he was going to do, man.
A little bit of lateral movement. I mean, it's not like he's a one-dimensional fighter that doesn't know how to move and just keep coming forward. That's not the type of fighter he is. He can do... He could have done all... He could have tried. It's just like he didn't even try. He just like, oh, I'm gonna stand there and fucking trade, and I'm quicker. I can beat him. No, I mean, you gotta use a little bit of movement if you're gonna beat Spence.
All right, did you even watch the Kell Brook fight? I mean, come on.
I was just completely... I knew he was gonna lose by KO, but I mean, come on. I figured he could have won a couple of rounds, maybe. You know?
Yeah.
Showed us something. Showed us that, you know, hey, maybe you can beat Spence this way if you do this, but no.
Butcher, check
He,
your
he was just a
Hangout
body
messages.
like Chavez Jr. man against Canelo.
You know what, Ray? I mean, I understand what you're saying, because when a guy is so outgunned like Lamont Peterson was, it might give the impression that he didn't that he didn't know what he was doing in there. My perspective was that he tried to box from the first round on, Lamont Peterson, but you saw that Errol Spence was taking little steps back, just little steps back. He wasn't running. He was just getting in and out every time Lamont tried to punch. And I think from the first round on, Lamont noticed that he wasn't going to be outboxing Errol Spence, and then he tried putting on pressure, and that's where everything went wrong for him.
Yeah, I don't know. To give up after one round, that's... I don't know.
But
Maybe
he didn't
just
give
doesn't
up.
have much faith in himself anymore.
I know, but I don't think he gave up. I mean, I saw him trying to, you know, hold on a second. I got some strange messages here. Yeah, I thought he did try to box in the first round. Then when that didn't work, he tried staying on the inside a little bit and going with power punches and trading a little bit with Errol Spence. Now, the thing that impressed me about Errol Spence was the way that he was able to shut down Lamont Peterson's distance. Like, he would never let him get inside, or rarely. Lamont Peterson only really landed punches when Errol Spence was coming in, and even then, I don't know if you noticed this, Ray, but it was quite impressive how when Lamont would hit Spence with shots, Spence wouldn't budge, but when Spence hit Peterson, even if Peterson was blocking, those shots seemed to be moving him. I mean, it was quite impressive, man.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely a much bigger guy, and his punches definitely had like pushing power on him.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like how I think on one of your videos with Rongbi Sai and Chocolatito, how his punches were just pushing the guy back. You know,
Mm-hmm.
not as badly as that, but I think he has enough power to maybe cause guys to be a little off balance.
Now, based on what we saw, I know Lamont Peterson is really a junior welterweight, but would it be safe to say that other than Sean Porter, Errol Spence might be the second strongest welterweight in the world?
I think he's the strongest physically.
Mm-hmm. Now,
I don't know if Sean Porter's super strong. He just kind of bullies his way in, and you know, anybody that comes in with as much force as he does, if he makes contact with you, you're gonna buckle a little bit.
Mm-hmm. No, but, definitely. I mean, the guy's not.
I mean, he really uses his body weight to throw a lot of forward momentum. But I mean, if you're talking just physical strength, yeah, I don't think anybody comes close to Spence. Honestly, he's a pretty good ways ahead of everyone.
Now, do you think this is because of the strength combined with his technique that makes him so strong?
Yeah, I think he's got a lot of that Triple G kind of, not necessarily stalk, but like his power. It just breaks you down, you know?
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have that one punch. I mean, he may have one punch KO, but I think he likes to break guys down. He's pretty similar to Triple G in that respect.
You know what? That comparison entered my mind when I was watching him. He does do a lot of Triple G-like things with his patience, the fact that he's not winging shots just to wing shots. I mean, he's very selective with his shots.
Yeah, he's got the power. I think his chin's pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I wouldn't say he's like Triple G level chin. But I mean, I guess we'll see how it fares once he goes up against Thurman. But I don't think he's chinny at all.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me tell you something. He took some shots from Peterson, who's not the strongest puncher in the world, and he took him well. But it was really the Brook fight. He took some big shots from Kell Brook. I mean, those right hands have put like sea-level fighters out, and he couldn't dent Spence's chin. Now, my question to you is, who would you rather see Spence fight? Thurman, Porter, or Crawford?
Probably Crawford. I don't think it would be the most exciting fight of the three. It would probably be the slowest fight.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pretty sure Crawford could outbox the other two easily.
Easily.
Yeah. Well, maybe not easily, but I if I had to bet, I would most certainly bet on Spence.
Well, you know what? Let's see what people are saying in the chat. Red Fox, shout out to Red Fox, says Spence's jab was good too. Sayuki,
yeah, I think the only trouble Crawford's gonna have is he's just a smaller guy, and he's not gonna have the KO power, but I think he's definitely got the skill to outbox all those guys.
I don't even know if those fights are gonna happen though, because Crawford is with Top Rank, so.
Yeah, I mean he's gonna do Horn, and then he's gonna probably try and do Manny Pacquiao, and he'll fight some other no-hoper at welterweight, because you know Heyman's got all the good welterweights apart from Crawford.
Get Off Me Son, shout out to Get Off Me, says Peterson not smaller. Well, he wasn't. He looked shorter, that's for sure. But I don't know whether that means that he wasn't as strong. His punches definitely didn't seem to have an effect on Peterson. Although there was one sequence where he hit Spence and it kind of backed Spence up. I mean, I guess you can only hit so many right hands. Go ahead, what?
Yeah, you know, his best round was the round he got knocked down when he started trading, because he landed some good shots against Spence.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Really good shots. I mean, that was his best round. But, you know, Spence was just ready for it. His punches just couldn't hurt Spence.
Now, people are really high on Errol Spence, and they should be, man. I mean, the guy has a great style. He always brings it. He stops people. He was willing to go over to the UK to fight Kell Brook in his hometown. I mean, this is a guy that's willing to do, and he gets into street fights with fat people. So, I mean, this is a guy that he's a complete package. Now, the question is, even with the bad management that PBC has so far shown, do you still think he could become some sort of a superstar?
He's got all the makings, like you said. I mean, there's nothing to dislike about the guy. I mean, find one thing that you think he does badly. I mean, he's an entertaining fighter. He throws some amazing body punches. I mean, he's just super fan-friendly all the way around.
He is.
I mean, as far as the Heyman stable, I mean, he's the most prime guy to be the next star. If anyone's going to be the star, it's going to be him.
But that's the thing. If he was with different promotional entity, he could just be a fucking superstar, man. But I don't like. So far, it's only hardcore boxing fans that know him, which is a shame because he's a great fighter.
Yeah, if he was with Golden Boy, I mean, they put him on a couple Canelo undercards. He'd knock the shit out of some people, and he could. I think he could sell some pay-per-views.
Well, let me tell you something. I hope everything turns out well for Spence. It would be a shame if his career stagnated and devolved into a little bit like what Thurman's career has turned into. You know?
Yeah, but
go ahead.
Spence will be fighting in June. Then they announced today.
Was that?
He will be fighting in June in Houston, Texas, his hometown.
So you think that's going to be like a
He's from Dallas.
Oh, Dallas, yeah. Well, he's from Dallas and he's fighting in Houston, right?
Oh, I didn't hear about that. I'm from Houston, so I'll definitely check that out if he fights over here. But...
I have it. Dallas, Texas. Yeah, sorry. He's fighting on June the 16th in Dallas, Texas, to be announced or to be determined. So, I mean, at least he's active. And Spence Jr. has been asking to be active. He's been saying that he wants to fight 3 times a year, which is something very rare for a PBC fighter. And I'm glad that it's happening. I'm glad that he's fighting again in June. That means that he can fight again at the end of the year. So that would be 3 fights. So that's great, man. That's how you build up stars. That's how you create stars. You gotta put it like Golovkin did, man. Remember, this guy was fighting 3 times a year, and that's how he became a big name in boxing. Also, let's be honest. Also, he was knocking everybody out.
Yeah,
but
if you fight that
that's the right formula.
Knock everybody out. People are gonna want to see you more.
Yeah, and Spence is knocking out his opponents, so I mean, there's no excuse for him not to become a star. But I don't know. Did you see the Showtime announcement? It came out a few hours ago.
No, I'm looking on Boxing Scene. I don't see anything
Yeah, it's
yet.
in the one of the, yeah, it's the article is Bronner, Figueroa, Stevenson, Jack, Lara Heard, set for Showtime.
Oh, look at
I
it.
don't
I
know,
saw they.
guys. Go ahead.
No. I was gonna say that I saw that Frank Warren canceled his February 10th card, but
Who's gonna fight in that card?
there was 3 fights. It was they were talking about bringing Billy Joe back, but it was Martin Murray and yeah, Martin Murray and Billy Joe Saunders.
Oh yeah. Oh, they canceled that fight. That would
Yeah,
have
they
been a good
canceled it.
fight. Damn. Any reasons?
Somebody else got sick, and then somebody got injured. Someone was sick and someone got injured, so they're just like, fuck it, I guess.
Oh, that would have been a
Yeah,
good fight.
February 24th.
So, okay, April 7th, Erislandy Lara, Jared Hurd. Good fight. That's a great fight.
Yeah, Charlo too. What Charlo's fighting?
Yeah, but I don't think there's an opponent for him.
No, they named the guy. He was the number 10 or 11 ranked guy in the division. I'd have to look up BoxRec to see who it was because I didn't see it announced on
Oh yeah, Centeno
online.
Jr.
I just saw it on.
Centeno Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good fight. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Centeno Jr. against Charlo. That fight stinks, man.
Yeah, but I mean he's active. I'm not saying I'm looking forward to that.
Centeno
I thought it was
Jr.
I know it's Jermel. Sorry, no, Jermel.
Jermel is the
Jermel's the
154,
one that's
yeah.
also fighting.
Yeah, it's the middleweight, the bigger one.
Yeah, not the 154 pounder.
All right, let's see what people are saying in the chat room. Zapata Boxing says one time cracks his ribs. Sayuki Rozak says Mikey is too small for Spence right now. Yeah, I think he even, I don't know if he said that himself, but Garcia should stay at 140 right now. Brandon White says that he's from Houston and that he's going to be fighting in Dallas. I mean, he's talking about Errol Spence. Racer X 247, shout out to Racer X, says Aram will wait to make Terence Crawford versus EJ. Who the fuck is EJ? Does he mean Errol Spence? Is that who he means?
I don't know.
Anyway, listen, I can't decode these messages right now. Cover Operative says BDA Spence will be mandated against Carlos Ocampo from Mexico, deal by mid-February 2018 or purse bid. And they're saying that he's going to be fighting in Texas next. Zapata Boxing says that covered that's actually not a big fight and a bad fight. Ocampo is no joke. I'll have to check that on Ocampo out. He sounds familiar to me. I think I've seen him fight. Have you guys ever seen him fight before? Sounds familiar,
Nope.
man. Get Off Me Sound says 2 bum fights in a row. Shake my head. Oh, come on. Spence wasn't a bum fight. Come on. That was actually a good fight. And that's the thing. Like I said, I saw some people saying that Spence was a bad fight. Or that, that they're saying that Errol Spence is overrated. From what I've seen so far against Chris Algieri, against Kell Brook, and against Peterson, I mean, listen, he stopped Peterson. And he didn't do it just based off of strength. He did it with boxing skills too, because he didn't allow Peterson to just run around the ring when he was on survival mode. He was able to cut off the ring and really lay down some punishment. So I don't know where people are getting this from, that he's a bum. I mean, not that he's a bum, but he's overrated.
I don't agree either. I mean, if this guy is knocking out all the so-called gatekeepers with relative ease, I mean, he deserves a shot at the top guy in the division. I mean, it's unquestionable, really.
Let me tell you something. Boxing fans as a whole, it's always about, this guy's overrated or this guy's underrated. I mean, there's no in between. Either a guy sucks or a guy's the best ever. But with Errol Spence, right now there's 2 guys in there that he could possibly fight, that are realistic fights, which is Sean Porter and Keith Thurman. Both of those guys, let's face it, on paper, how many people would pick those guys over Errol Spence? Right now, Errol Spence is the darling of the boxing world. Boxing fans love him, and they're picking him to be the eventual king of the welterweight division. So I haven't really seen that many people say that Sean Porter or Thurman would beat Spence. I mean, I don't know, Butcher, what do you think?
Well, who wins that fight?
I mean, do you think most people favor
No,
Errol
most people
Spence?
think that.
All
I mean,
right,
they're
I didn't even
thinking
ask
way
the
ahead, and they're
question
saying
yet.
that Spence.
All
At the end
right,
of the
yeah, go
day,
ahead,
Spence Jr.
yeah,
will
keep
fight
talking, keep talking.
Terence Crawford for the welterweight supremacy. So they're bypassing Thurman and Porter and every other welterweight that there's out there.
Yeah, that's the thing. Most people are bypassing those fights, but what I'm saying is, realistically, do you think most people would be picking Errol Spence against Sean Porter and against Thurman?
Yeah, because I just said that at the end of the day, that's the fight that's going to be taking place, like for welterweight supremacy, meaning Thurman and Porter, and they were going to be defeated along the way.
Now, which fight would you rather see?
Right now, Thurman against Spence Jr. because I haven't seen Terence Crawford at welterweight, and I have a feeling he's not going to have as much power as he has at 140 and 135. He's going to be fighting bigger guys, so we have to wait and see.
Yeah, but when he beats Jeff Horn, people are still going to say, well, Jeff Horn was trash and, no defense and anybody could have outboxed him. So it's kind of like...
That's a good point. Okay, who does he need to fight at welterweight to show that he's a real...
There's nobody he can that's not in the PBC stable. I mean, Manny Pacquiao's with... They'll say Manny's old. They'll say Jeff Horn was overrated and his defense was crappy. They'll say Jesse Vargas never was that good anyway. Or I don't know, Lucas Matisse, maybe? He's with Golden Boy, right?
That's a good fight.
I mean, that'd be a good fight.
That would be a great fight. Well, let's see if Matisse survives this Saturday, because I don't know. I think he's kind of done, man. I mean, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, somebody else said that over at Low Places channel. They said, that Matisse might be finished, but based on what? He got caught in the eye against Postal, and that was a pretty weird fight because Postal was clinching a lot. And by the way, we got a new panelist here. Help Me is his name. Help Me, how are you, man? Help Me, are you there? Alright. Guess he's on mute. But anyway, yeah, that Matisse fight. The Matisse Postal fight was a weird fight. Postal was doing a good job of keeping Matisse frustrated with the distance and by clinching a lot. But then again, he did land that big right hand that ended matters in the end. But I don't know, Bucho. I don't think Matisse is done. I mean, he looked pretty good. He looked pretty good in his last fight.
Who was it against?
Jesus, I forget his name again. But he's the guy that... Emmanuel Taylor.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, in that Postal fight, in my opinion, I don't know, he just looked mentally broken down. Although he did stagger Postal.
Did he? I don't remember that
And this is a fight at welterweight also, so...
Alright, well, we got Angry... Okay, what's Angry Nerd now? Angry, how are you, man?
Hey, I'm doing fine.
Alright, cool, man. Listen, curious to get your thoughts on the past Saturday's fight between Errol Spence and Lamont Peterson.
I'm not really like a hardcore boxing fan, but I thought it was pretty entertaining.
Yeah, man, it was very fucking... Well, you say you're not a big boxing fan. I mean, did you recently just start watching it, or...?
Yeah.
May I ask how many years you've been watching boxing?
Actually, I started this year.
Oh, that's great, man.
Straight.
I mean, I don't know why I say that's great, but I mean, it's good that somebody, there's always new boxing fans coming on the scene. Now, what attracts you to boxing in the first place?
I don't know. It's just really entertaining.
All right, now I don't know if you're aware, but Errol Spence right now, he's got a lot of hype behind him. He's on the hype train. A lot of people love what they're seeing. A lot of people think he's gonna be the next big thing. What are your first impressions of Errol Spence?
Yeah, I think he has potential.
Potential for...
doing great things.
Yeah, no, I get it. Man, my mouse is starting to lose some battery. Sorry about this, I'm having some difficulties here with my mouse. Alright, but now listen, Ray, if indeed Errol Spence ends up fighting in Houston, are you gonna try to make it for that fight?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah. They're. I can't remember the last time like a fight came over here, like a big fight. I think it was Marquez and God, what was that young guy? Was it Diaz?
Yeah, Diaz.
Yeah, I think that was the last time that we had a big fight over here. Since then, hell, I don't remember. I know the Charlos were from Houston, but I don't think they're.
Yeah. Okay. What is this?
You got a bad mic.
Yeah, honest, you gotta mute your mic, man. Alright, that was some technical difficulties right there. Abraham Lincoln hopped on the chat. I guess he's still pissed off about what happened there. What was it, 300 years ago? Must have been. Alright, we're gonna restart this Google Hangout shit. I don't know what's going on here, but don't worry about it. We're going to restart everything before you know it. Alright. Technical difficulties happens like this. What do you want me to tell you? I don't run the show. I don't run the I don't understand where people want from me. I'm trying to get Bucho on the line. And we're gonna see what happens here. Bucho, are you there? Alright. Trying to get Bucho on the line. He still has not replied. Again, if you want to join us, send us an instant message via boxingdebate@hotmail.com. All you gotta do is go to Google Hangouts and send us a message. Now, why isn't Bucho answering me? Alright, I'm sending the link. Yeah,
Yo.
Bucho, are you there?
Yep.
Alright, well, we got a little visit from Abraham Lincoln. And I think I know who that was, by the way.
Oh, I think I know too.
Yeah. But anyway, listen. Oh shit, I gotta invite Ray back. Let's see if I have his email. Oh, yeah, I think I do here. He says he wants to make the trip out to... Well, not the trip, he lives in Texas, but I guess he would just have to change towns or travel across towns in order to see the fight. And Lopez told me that Adonis Stevenson is going to be taking on Badou Jack. Apparently that fight is done. I didn't even know about that. Alright, well, Bucho's just telling me that he's going to be right back. I don't know what the hell's going on. Fucking late night show. We got a bunch of creeps tonight. We got Bucho going by her back. And by the way, can everybody hear me out there? Let's see what people are saying in the chat room. He won't get wrong. Let in 68. I don't even know who 68 is. He has to send me a message. Now again, guys, if you want to get on the Hangout, go to Google Hangouts and send the message to the email address that's on the top of your screen, boxingdebate@hotmail.com. Send me your email. That way I can send you a link. And that's how it works, man. I send you an invite and you're able to come in. Angry Nerd, Zapata Boxing says, Angry Nerd hacked the Hangout and now we're all fucked. Yeah, I saw the faces of birth after the fight. I mean, can you guys hear me? Okay, you can hear us. So why are they saying we're all fucked? We're not all fucked. We're still on, right? We're still on the air. So if you're gonna join us, send us a instant message via Google Hangouts to the email addresses on the top of your screen. Let me tell you something. I gotta feel bad a little bit about Jr-Fortuna, because I said, hey, how Zapata Boxing says, I hear you, BDA. Sergeant Mikalek says hi. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, listen, I gotta feel bad a little bit about Jr-Fortuna, because I did say that he was a bit of a loser for not making weight. But now that I think about it, it might have been a tactic to counteract a little bit of Easter Jr.'s, what's his name? Easter Jr.'s weight bullying a little bit. Because, I mean, I don't even know if you would call it weight bullying from Mr. Jr., because he is a tall guy, but he's thin. It's not like he's using his weight to really have an advantage in those fights. He's telling me, I think you have 2 hangers now. Alright, now hold on a sec. We got some technical difficulties here. I don't know what's going on here.
But whatever. I'm saying that you can't see the Hangouts on
yeah, I just realized
the screen.
I was just talking about how Fortuna, I felt a little bad about talking bad about him last week, even though, now that I think about it, first of all, did you see how he comported himself after the fight?
Who, Fortuna?
Yeah.
What did he do?
Well, he was just...
I didn't see the post fight.
He invited, what's his name?
Oh, yeah, no, yeah, I saw it. They were, he was saying that he wanted a rematch, right?
Mm-hmm.
What else happened? Shit, I was kind of drinking, man.
Kind of drinking. Okay, so you didn't see what happened then?
No.
Okay, well, what happened
was...
No,
well, I remember. I saw it, but I forgot, man. He kept saying he wanted a rematch, then Easter was like, you lost? What?
Jesus Christ, how drunk were you, man?
No, I wasn't that drunk. I just wasn't paying attention, man.
Okay, well... Well, what happened was Fortuna called him over. He called, what's his name? Easter Jr. over. And he's like, yeah, man, come on over. You know, he puts his arm over his shoulder while he's doing the what's it called? The post-fight interview. And then Easter Jr. graciously goes over and he's like, oh, we're going to be friends now after this or something. And Fortuna just starts talking bad about him. And I think he told the crowd, hey, if you think I won, boo. Or something like that. And then people started booing. And then Easter Jr. sort of got the message that, ah, shit, he's shitting on me. And then he started saying, hey, listen, if you want a rematch, we can... Or he started talking shit too. And then Easter Jr. Oh, and by the way, the best part was... What's his name? Jim Gray. Who I think has a screw loose or something. I don't think he knows how to read a situation. This guy will just say the first thing that comes into his head. And he was talking about how... You know, he asked Fortuna, hey, alright, you want a rematch. Will you be able to make the weight next fight? You know, sort of like not making fun of him, but saying, hey, listen, you could make the weight the first time. Why do you want a rematch for a title if you can't even make 135? And Fortuna said, no, yeah, I'll fight. I'll make the weight. I've never really seen a guy struggle to make weight. I mean, he didn't even lose. He lost half a pound on the second try. He didn't even bother losing the weight, I think. I've never seen a guy fail to make weight like that. And then all of a sudden, you know, magically in the second fight, he can make the weight. I mean, I know Eric Morales did it against Pacquiao the third fight, but he just looked drained, and he was finished in that fight. All right, Bucho, you take over. I gotta get something sorted out here, right?
Okay.
All right.
Ray, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, so let's see. Did you look at the whole Showtime? What is the fights that they're gonna be showing?
No, is it on their website?
It's on Boxing Scene.
Click on that article. I started looking at the guy that Matisse was gonna fight, his record.
Yeah, I don't really know
He's
much
fought
about
a bunch
that.
of no-hopers, it looks like, man, or a bunch of nobodies. Like guys with losing records and shit, 10, 12 losses on their records. So,
Nah, I mean,
I don't know.
if Matisse loses that fight,
Yeah.
it's over, man. In my opinion, it's over. 768 Dark Rendezvous. Dan, let me in, dude. This is good. 68. Just send a private message to BDA Boxing. So, anyways, what were we talking about? Matisse. Yeah, I think he's done, man. I mean, I don't think he's. If he loses this fight, he's done. But fuck, and he's a small welterweight, by the way. It's not like he has Timothy Bradley skills. So I don't know. I'm not super excited. Matisse doesn't has the heart of Maidana, sadly. Yeah. Well, when Matisse fought Postol, I mean, he said he heard like a crack, like on his chin, his jaw or something, like his jaw cracked. So I mean, would you have quit after hearing your jaw crack? I don't know, man. Like, but yeah, it seems like Maidana has more heart than Matisse. I mean, Jesus Christ, Matisse against Garcia. What the fuck happened in that fight, man? By the way, Danny Garcia has a hell of a chin, by the way, so you gotta give credit to Danny Garcia for taking Matisse's punches.
Yeah, he took all of Thurman's punches too. So
yeah, that's true, man. I mean, against Matisse also, his mouthpiece went flying, man. So that guy's fucking tough.
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. I'm drinking tea all day, and I got this bladder of a 78-year-old man. I gotta take. I don't know if it's something wrong with my bladder. I hope it's not cancer that's sitting out my asshole or something.
Jesus.
I'm kidding, for Christ's sakes. But listen, all right, sorry, I shouldn't have interrupted, man.
There's nothing great going on.
Well, listen, whenever there's a lull or something, you go to the fucking comments. So let's see what people are saying. 68 Dark Rendezvous says, Dan, let me in. Dude, this is good. Who's Dan? I don't know what's
sure.
his, I don't know. Anyway, Vincent Marduk says Matisse doesn't have the heart of Maidana. I don't know. I mean, why wouldn't Matisse have a heart? Because of the Postal fight? I mean, I saw him go toe-to-toe against Molina, against Garcia. I mean, does he have as good heart as Maidana? I don't think so, but he's not a bad
I wouldn't call
fighter.
him a quitter.
Well, that's the thing, though. Did he quit against Postal, though?
Well, he fucked up his eye, didn't he?
I think, yeah, he fucked up his eye, but I mean, could Matisse have gone on, or was it one of those questions where it's, you know, where he's just fucking, he could have gone on, or it was really, he was really injured.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, listen.
I have to watch that fight. I never saw that fight.
Okay. You never. Garcia's dad said that Danny finished deaf from one ear and pissing blood by a week. I'm guessing from Vincent Marduk is saying that Garcia's dad said that Danny was deaf from one ear and was pissing blood after the Matisse fight. I wouldn't doubt it, man. I mean, Matisse landed some good shots in that. Garcia has an iron chin. I don't think people give him enough credit for that one.
Yeah, we were talking about that when you were going. He ate all his punches and Thurman's.
He says, Vincent Marduk says, yeah, but he lacks something that lets bigger fighters go to the next level. You know what? When he was tearing through the junior welterweight division, people really he did seem to be like a Triple G version, like a junior welterweight Triple G version. Then after the Garcia fight, he was in a tough fight against Molina, and then the loss to Postal. So that sort of gives people the impression that he's weak, or that he has a weak heart. But I wouldn't necessarily say he has a weak heart. I just think, like you said, Ray, there's something missing there. But what I'm trying to put my fucking finger on it. I don't know. King Bucho said that he's kind of basic. Yeah, but basic can be good, especially when you have bone-crushing power like Matisse does. So, I don't know. Now, interestingly here, let's say that Matisse does win. Who does he fight? because I'm looking at the welterweight rankings here, and again, welterweight slim pickings for anybody that's not associated with the PBC. Hold on, let me put that up on the screen. We're gonna look at the rankings. All right, trying to work on it. Where the fuck did I... All right. There we go. Took a while. Now at welterweight we have, I mean everybody knows really, but Lamont Peterson, PBC. Jesse Vargas, he's about to fight in the PBC. Manny Pacquiao, I think he's still with Top Rank. Jeff Horn, I think he's with some sort of like some Australian promoter, or he's with Top Rank. Okay, yeah. Then you got Lucas Matisse. Then you have Danny Garcia, PBC. Kell Brook, who's with Eddie Hearn. And then the other three guys, PBC.
Yeah, Kell Brook's gone. I mean, he's not a welterweight anymore.
Exactly. There you go. So you can...
For in a couple weeks.
So Ray, who does Matisse fight after this?
I mean, his only hope would be to land one of the top ranked guys. But I don't know. See, Top Rank does their own ESPN stuff, and then Golden Boy does their own ESPN stuff. So I don't know. Since they all started having their own network, I don't know if they've I don't know if I can think of an instance where they've crossed over, you know, and done a split share or whatever. I don't think they've done that yet.
Well,
so
I mean,
I don't know.
Daniel Jacobs sort of broke away from the PBC.
Yeah, he's done with PBC.
Yeah, he's done. Amir Khan fought Canelo, even though he was somewhat associated with the PBC. Who else? What's his name? The guy who fought Triple G, Dominic Wade. But then again, he was no big fish over the PBC. So there have been instances where guys from the PBC are allowed over there. But like you said...
Yeah, but for pay-per-views. I mean, if you're talking just normal fights, you know, I haven't seen that happen yet. Like, it's been all top rank. Since Top Rank started doing their own TV shows, it's all Top Rank. And since, you know, Golden Boy started doing their TV stuff, it's been all them. So I don't think there's been any big fights where people have been, you know, showing up on other networks or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So
just for the pay-per-view stuff, then they can work it out a lot easier, I guess, if it's a pay-per-view fight. But for the non-pay-per-view stuff,
yeah, for the first of all, Matisse pay-per-view, it's just not gonna happen. He's not a. There's nobody out there for him.
He could be on an undercard, but I mean.
Well, yeah, his last fight was in an undercard.
Yeah, he fought on the Chavez Jr. undercard, I think. Canelo Chavez Jr.
Now, Sanctus Deus Cruor, shout out to Sanctus, says, "You tripping? Matisse took wicked shots from Ruslan and Garcia and he didn't quit. Dude just likes running with anything they hear because they can't think independently." See, that's... You get stopped once, or you get dropped 2 times in a row or something. All of a sudden you're done, you're washed up. I don't agree with it. I think Matisse is still a very dangerous fighter. You saw what he did to Emmanuel Taylor.
Yeah, I mean, fucked him up.
Yeah, Broner went, what was it, 10, 12 rounds with Emmanuel Taylor. Meanwhile, Matisse goes in there and destroys him in 3 or 4, I forget which it was. So, and this Thai kid that he's gonna be fighting, he looks big, he looks strong, natural 147 pounder. These guys from Thailand, you never know, they can surprise you. But
yeah, but I looked up his record. We were talking about it when you were gone. He's fought a bunch of guys with like 10, 12 losses. All his last 10 fights have been guys with a lot of losses.
Now, that can go both ways. Either he stinks, or he's a hidden talent that's been taking out bums, but he just needs that one big opportunity. For example, Srisaket Rungvisai, he'd only really fought one top guy, and that was Carlos Cuadras, and he had lost that fight. Then he takes on Roman Gonzalez, the guy who many thought was the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, and what does he do? He ends up dropping him, taking a controversial win, and then he stops him in the rematch. So, I mean, I know I'm sort of going too far ahead here because we've never really seen Kiram against anybody like Cuadras before.
He's never fought outside of Thailand.
Well, what are people saying in the chat room? Sean Newton Boxing says Lucas is going to kill Kiram. Flameon24 says, I got Tewa winning by unanimous decision. He's tough. Okay, so there you go. You see, someone's picking him. Santos Dios Cruz says, fair shake. I agree. Perhaps the best rematch to be made. Oh, he's talking about... Who's he talking about? Garcia versus Lucas. I think they're talking about Garcia versus Lucas. Sean Newton says about Kuram, he got dropped by a nobody. Rungvisai was a former champ who lost a controversial fight to Quadras. Flameon says Tewa has a good ass jab, I meant, yeah. I don't know, man. Listen,
I mean, his last opponent's 11 losses. A guy with his pro debut. Before that, it was a guy with 14 losses. I mean, his last 3 fights. That's what he's fought.
Man, listen, it can go both ways. Like I said, first of all, I'm gonna put the record up just to show people what you're talking about. Because here's his record really is. I mean, at first glance, 38 wins, 0 losses, 28 knockouts. You go, whoa, who's this guy? But then, like you said, you look at his record. Let's look at his fights from the past 2 years. So from...
Only 25.
The only name I recognize is Kaiser Mabusa, who I think he beat Zab Jude a couple of years ago. And ever since he beat Zab Jude, he hasn't done anything. So then he took on Boichepo Mandawe, 14 wins, 6 losses. Arnel Tinampay, who has 19 losses. Alexander Suvarvisky, 10-1. Larry Ziwu, 22-5. I mean, you get the picture, right, guys? He hasn't fought anybody near the level of Lucas Matisse. And here's the other thing. If you look at Kiram's fights, and then you watch Matisse's fights, you can see there's a huge gap of skill and speed there. I mean, Kiram's not a bad fighter. The only thing that I'm looking at is if indeed he's what's the thing? If he's vulnerable, Matisse, or if he's done, then Kiram's strength might play a factor. But if not, okay. So Bucho's telling me you can't see. No, yeah, you can see the names. What are you talking about?
It's all red, man.
Okay, it's red, but you can read what it says.
No, it's hard, man. It's like pinkish red. My eyes hurt, man.
Your eyes hurt. Well, do you want a bottle of milk and a change of diapers? Yeah, stupid.
Looks like it's
fuck.
frozen, honestly.
What's that?
It looks like the stream's frozen. It's not showing any of the current comments.
Might be a little bit of lag.
It's got a lot of lag because the last thing was one of the last things I said was my last comment about Robert Easter Jr. So that was like 10 or 15 minutes ago.
Well, let me take care of that first. There we go. All right, so King Butch is telling me that. Okay. Now, what else do we have to? Okay, first of all, I was in Low Place's chat at his hangout earlier, and people were talking about, you know, the Matisse fight and that Linares is fighting some bum. Now, by bum, they're talking about Mercito Gesta, who last time most people saw him was getting outboxed by Miguel Vasquez. Now, Miguel Vasquez at that time was making everybody look bad. Okay, he just runs around the ring. But the thing that really that upset people about Gesta was that he didn't even try to cut off the ring. He was just following Vasquez around, not throwing punches. He threw about less than 10 punches around, I think. Now, he got a couple of wins since then, and he's going to be taking on Linares. Linares, incredibly talented, hand speed, you know, good foot movement, stamina. But if you think Matisse is vulnerable and doesn't have any endurance, you should look at Jorge Linares, because that's a guy that really doesn't have that much endurance. I mean, this guy against Antonio DeMarco took a couple of shots. Next thing you know, he's bleeding all over the goddamn ring. I mean, I don't know. Ray, are you looking forward to this fight?
Not really. I didn't know anything about that guy. You know, I would have rather seen a rematch with Luke Campbell, because I think Luke Campbell, I don't know, I didn't go back and score it again, but I thought that was a really close fight. Like, it was possible that Campbell could have slight edged him out. I think Linares just takes too many off rounds, like you said. I think it's his stamina. You know, he'll look great in a couple of rounds, and then the next 2 rounds it'll look like shit. And he'll come back and do good. So I don't know. He should have fought Luke Campbell again, because that was pretty questionable.
Now,
or if not, then, you know, fight Lomachenko or somebody.
But how close? I mean, did you have Campbell winning, or did you think Linares took the fight?
I don't remember, to be honest with you. It wasn't more than a round either way. I'll tell you that in anyone's favor.
All right.
It was a 7-5, I think. If I can't remember.
First of all, shout out.
One of those 7-5s where it's like, hey, if it gone either way, you can't say that was a bad decision.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems people made that fight closer. Had that fight closer than I had, or most people. First of all, I gotta say shout out to Scotty's Killer, who just subscribed. He says LOL. Yeah, that message pops up every time somebody subscribes. But I mean, I don't know, Ray. I thought Linares won most of the early rounds against Campbell. I think Campbell did surge on late, but I don't think it was enough to really earn him a win against Linares. But Linares against Crawler, he looked good in that one. Beat him 2 times, you know.
Oh yeah, that guy's. Yeah, I don't think he's that great.
Well, look, okay. Sean Newton is saying Gesta was exposed. We'll see if he has improved. That's what we're all looking forward to, because he's never fought anybody since then, either on Vasquez's level or Linares. Red Fox says Linares is overrated. I mean, what do you think about that, Ray? Do you think Linares is overrated?
Well, maybe a little bit. I mean, he's shown flashes where he's really great, but like I said, man, it just seems in a lot of fights he takes off rounds, you know.
Yeah, he's actually I think he's pretty active, but there's times, you're right, where he'll take rounds off, or it suddenly looks like he's slowing down from one round to the next very visibly. So I don't know. We'll have to see.
I want to see him fight Loma or Mikey, but who knows if that's ever gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll find out how good he is there.
I mean, let me tell you something. Lomachenko, I think, let's put it this way, he's been making undefeated guys quit.
Yeah.
Linares has been stopped before. I mean, I don't know if you see the picture here, but I don't see Linares going the distance against Lomachenko.
I wouldn't say he would quit. I mean, maybe his corner might throw it in, but like I said, because that's a weight class up for Lomachenko. I don't know if Linares is big for his division or not, but I think Lomachenko is just such a good boxer, man. It's you look at what he's been doing. It's not that he's even hitting people hard. It's just that he's just beating them so bad and nobody can hit him. And people just fucking get frustrated. And once you get frustrated and you don't have your mind right in the ring, you ain't gonna fucking land anything.
Yeah, that's the thing. You really, so far the only guy who had success against Lomachenko was Salido.
Yeah.
And I mean, looking at the rankings right now, I don't know who can really give him that type of fight. But now here's the thing. Linares is taking on Gesta. Again, Gesta not particularly strong or fast or really anything that can throw Linares off. But then again, could have said that same thing about Antonio DeMarco, and he ended up taking Linares out. So it seems like the book that most people have on Linares is that, hey, I just gotta take him into deep waters, land a couple of shots, bada bing, bada boom, and he's out. I know that's a simplistic way of looking at it, but that's probably how a guy like Gesta is looking at this fight.
I think if you just dig the body on him, I mean, that's an easy way to beat him. That's the smartest way to me. You work Linares, just go to the body a lot. I think, like I said, because if he takes those off rounds, it means he's probably tired. Why else would you take an off round,
Yeah. Now that's the thing, man. It's, first of all, I think some people want to see Linares against Garcia. The way Garcia has been beating people up, man, I think that's a bad fight for Linares. I mean, I know he wants it because it's a big fight and it would make him the most money right now. But if I'm Linares' brain trust, I keep him away from Mikey Garcia. I would even rather put him in there against Lomachenko than against Mikey Garcia, because at least Lomachenko, he's gonna dance around you, do that little Ukrainian dance around you. Doesn't really, if you don't piss him off too much, he doesn't put that much punishment on you, and you walk away with a decision loss, a couple of money in your pocket, and that's it. Mikey Garcia, if he catches you with the right shot, he's gonna put you out, man.
Yeah.
Bucho, what do you think about that?
Sorry about what?
All right, forget it. I'll ask Ray. He
I
was
was
listening.
checking the chat, man. What?
That a lot of people are talking about they want to see Linares against Garcia, but I think he actually gets knocked out or stopped against Garcia. Wouldn't it be better for Linares to take on Lomachenko? That way he might not take as much punishment.
I don't know if Garcia.
Yeah, but he will get clowned probably. I mean, who knows, man? Have we even seen Lomachenko at 135? No. So, I mean, I don't know. We have to wait and see. And by the way, Lomachenko is a small guy. Did you see that picture when he's next to Mikey Garcia?
No.
His skull looks smaller, man. His whole body just looks smaller. His size, his frame looks smaller. So
Yeah, but you never know how that was taken. Loma could have been cutting weight before a fight. Mikey could have been between fights and been a lot heavier than he normally is. I mean, you can't really. You don't
yeah,
really know
Mikey
the
might
whole
have a big
picture.
head. Yeah, I guess. But I mean, like the bones, they just look bigger, like head and the shoulders, the width of the shoulders just he looks smaller, man. But I don't know. Yeah, you're right. Could have been like he was making weight or something.
Yeah, I agree, but I honestly don't think that Loma should go above 135. Like, if he goes to 140, he's gonna fight some guys that are pretty big, and at that point, you know, his punches will just, I don't know, he'll be like a pea shooter, man. You know.
Yeah, I think his limit is
He doesn't
definitely
even have power at
140.
130, really. I mean, Rocky Martinez might say something else, but you know, you haven't really seen him throw a lot of hard power punches.
Yeah, but then again, I guess Rugen, I think he didn't want to throw big punches. He was just pity pats because he didn't have to throw any big punches.
Yeah,
But can he? I mean, if he sits down on his punches, can he not? Can he hurt you? I mean, I don't know.
You guys are making some good points about that. I want to get back to that about Lomachenko's punching power, but Scott Skiller is saying that Garcia has some stamina problems, and I want to address that. Excuse me, because I thought Garcia was slowing down against Broner. I don't know if other people saw that.
No. Slowing down?
Yeah, I think
really cautious.
He was
in that
kind of
fight.
He was cautious, but he was kind of chasing him though.
What are you talking about? Who was chasing who?
Garcia. He was coming forward really fast because at some point Broner was backing up really fast, and then like, in a way like Mikey Garcia was kind of chasing him.
No, but what I'm saying is later in the fight, when
I'm trying to figure out like is there a reason for Mikey Garcia getting tired? I mean, he was the only one throwing punches. So
well, exactly. That's why. That's why.
is it reasonable? Well, I mean, like, do you wanna? Are you criticizing Mikey Garcia for getting tired a bit?
I'm just saying it's interesting that he wasn't really having that much trouble with Broner, and then all of a sudden Broner turned it up, and Garcia seemed. I mean, listen, watch the fight again. Watch the last 3 rounds. It seems to me like Garcia was a little.
Broner could have done it from round 1 and turn it up, but he just didn't have the balls to do it. And I guess he got a little bit of confidence in starting like throwing some punches, and that's pretty much what happened. I mean, but from the beginning he was just fucking scared.
So you're saying Mikey Garcia might not have any stamina issues?
Based on the one fight, I don't know. Is there another fight where you saw him get tired?
In the Juan Carlos Burgos fight, he was in total control, but he'd never really pressed the trigger, and I'm wondering now in hindsight if that might have been because of stamina. There was another fight. Which one was it?
I think he was just concerned about Broner's power. You know, he moved up to 140, and it was his first fight at 140, so he was pretty cautious.
Yeah, maybe, man, maybe, or maybe because he's a big dude. I mean, when you guys look at Mikey Garcia, how much do you think he weighs when he's walking around not fighting?
150.
Jesus.
Yeah, 150s, I'd say, low 150 maybe.
By the way, speaking of walking around weights, who was it Saturday? I think it was it Precise that said that Errol Spence walks around at 180 when he's not fighting?
I wouldn't be surprised if he's at least 170.
But that's the thing about freaking Errol Spence. I look at his frame.
He could fight at middleweight easily if he wanted to.
Okay, hold on a sec. I'm gonna put up the weigh-in photo that he comparing him to Kell Brook for their fight. Okay, so there you see Errol Spence on the right. Yeah, he does look like he has a pretty thick core, especially compared to Brook, who is a strong welterweight himself, and they look sort of about, maybe because of the angle and of the red filter, you can't really see the difference between their traps, but maybe Brook has bigger traps, I don't know. But yeah, definitely Errol Spence looks like a big guy, and we're gonna talk about that more later on maybe. But okay, so maybe Mikey Garcia doesn't have stamina issues. So Scotty Skiller just brought that point up, and I thought it was an interesting one, because against Bronner, it seemed to me like he might have slowed down a little bit. Sayuki Razak says Garcia is technical and he will take his time. He took his time, but he delivered. Vincent Marduk says Riga was technical too. Sanctus Dios Cruz says, Sean, Mikey isn't flat-footed. He actually fights on his toes most of the fight. It depends on his opponent. Pay more attention. Sayuki Razak says, Garcia range ownership is also really good. And some people are talking about Rigondeaux. Sean Newton says, Mikey is good, but it will be like when his brother stepped in against an elite fighter. Is he saying that Mikey Garcia is on the Robert Garcia level? I don't know. Definitely Mikey Garcia has bigger, more power. And Robert Garcia was more of a mover. He liked to stick and move. And he was a southpaw to boot. Sanctus Dios Cruz says, Mikey is levels above Robert, Sean. He does everything better. Bro, go feed your dog. Alright, so Sanctus Dios Cruz and Sean Newton are getting into it in the chat room a little bit. Okay, so again, I ask you, dream fight. Ray, I'll start with you. If you could pick one fight to make between Linares, Mikey Garcia, and Lomachenko, but it has to involve Linares, which one would you prefer? Linares against Garcia or Linares against Lomachenko?
Probably Lomachenko. Even though I think it would be a little more competitive the other way around.
Now, do you want to see that fight just to see Lomachenko fight somebody, or because you think, yeah, that's. Man, let me tell you something.
I mean, it's one of the only the top two guys that he can fight, apart from maybe Tank. But we know that ain't gonna happen.
Oh, that's the thing. What about Tank Davis? I mean, everybody was.
Well, he's fighting. I just looked at this Showtime thing. She's fighting on 4/21. So the Showtime's got their whole thing listed: Broner and Figueroa, Laura Hurd, Keith Thurman, and somebody else. I don't know.
Is he fighting
Stevenson Jack? I guess he's fighting on the Stevenson Jack undercard.
Oh, okay.
It says BK. I don't know what the fuck BK is. But
TBA?
Santa Cruz Mares too, and Jermel Charlo.
Is he fighting the dreaded TBA to be announced?
No, it doesn't say TBA. It says BK.
Who the hell's BK?
Errol
Burger
Spence
King?
on 6/16.
He's gonna fight the Burger King guy. The King.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me see. You said February, right?
Yeah. For no, that's Garcia Rios.
Okay, so I'm probably guessing it's gonna be in April the fight then, or March. You know, Lopez just told me his
Tank?
chat. For Tank Davis, yeah.
Yeah, 4/21.
420. Okay, so let's go. Gervonta Davis versus TBA. Yeah, that's to be announced. So they don't even have an opponent for him.
Yeah.
I'd love to see who is
I was talking
mandatory.
about the Keith Thurman one. It said BK.
Oh, okay, okay. Now, okay, let me ask you this, because who are your top 5 guys that when they fight, you absolutely have to see them fight live?
Lomachenko, Triple G. Probably Kovalev still. Chocolatito.
Alright, that's 5.
Yeah.
You gotta stop now. We gotta stop you now.
I've seen 3 of them live, I think. So.
That's interesting because look, the favorite guys out there right now, like you said, Triple G, Kovalev, Errol Spence is in there, Chocolatito, even though we don't know when he's gonna fight next, and of course Lomachenko, because he's just so entertaining. Tank Davis, on the other hand, this is the thing. People say, "Oh, Tank Davis stinks, this and that." I don't like it when he showboats after he knocks a guy out. But what I like about Tank Davis is he's not the type of guy that's just going in there pity-patting. He's actually trying to put some hurt on guys. Now, yeah, he's 22. His skills might not be up to the level that they could be. But Tank Davis, man, I think he's an entertaining fighter, and I would love to see him fight more. But just put him in there against
he has
guys.
potential.
Mm-hmm.
But he's fucking up, missing weight
Yeah.
almost twice in a row, and then getting in legal troubles and shit. I mean, Mayweather needs to steer his ass in the right direction, or he's gonna fuck his career up.
Yeah, but maybe Mayweather's not the best guy to do that, you know?
Well, I think it's better for Tank to get out of Baltimore and than anywhere else other than his hometown, because he's just gonna. I mean, you know how it is when you're in your hometown. You meet up with the same old people you grew up with, and just wind up getting into trouble.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. He needs to get out of there.
Focus
Mayweather,
on
like,
boxing.
but Mayweather, like I said, he's not exactly the best influence for a young fighter. With Tank Davis, though,
Yeah, but
man.
he's at least got people that can help him out. I mean, if you miss weight almost twice in a row, you need some help. You're not doing something right, or you need some motivation. And losing your title isn't motivation. I mean, I don't know what is. Maybe he doesn't care. He don't care about titles. Just wants money. But I don't know. It just looks bad when you're missing weight like that.
Yeah, man. Especially when he's young, and he shouldn't have an excuse to be making. I mean, there's no excuse to be missing weight, unless he's really dehydrated. That's the other thing. Tank Davis looks like a strong dude. So I don't know if he's actually fighting at the correct weight.
Yeah, he's fighting he's big for that division. I know he's a lot bigger than Loma.
Yeah, but can we also agree that people were exaggerating, or they were getting ahead of themselves by saying that, or by mentioning Tank Davis as a potential Lomachenko opponent?
Well, that'd be a great fight to see, but I mean, yeah, I think he's yet to be in the ring with someone who's, has really high boxing technical skills. But he's a guy that you want to see fight. Anybody that has that kind of power and has a friendly style, I mean, you're gonna want to see him fight.
Yeah, exactly. He should be on fighting more often. Actually, he's 21. He should be fighting 3-4 times a year. It was against Jose Pedraza. That was a good fight. That was an entertaining fight. That was his.
Yeah, he fucked him up.
That was his world title fight, and he really did, open up, went for the knockout. So, and he's 19-0 with 18 knockouts. So, again, some people might be saying, "Oh, come on, he hasn't faced anybody. He hasn't faced anybody that's really good." Blah blah blah. But look, Pedraza, Liam Walsh, those are two good, solid guys, and he knocked them out. So, I think he definitely
he went over to England too.
Exactly. He pulled an Errol Spence and went to England. So, I think he's pretty good. I think he's got potential. But like you said, number one, he needs to get out of Baltimore. It's a little bit like what they say with Alcoholics Anonymous, or what they tell to people that go to rehab. You stay away from people that will trigger you, or triggers, right? So if there's people out there that enable you, or enable your bad behavior, you gotta get away from them. You gotta stay away from them. And he has to keep in mind that he has a bright future ahead of him, and he can't be throwing it away because some old friends from the neighborhood want him to go to a club, and then they end up getting in a street fight and somebody pulls a gun, and you know how that shit goes, right? So, I mean, we've seen a lot of fighters before going to jail young or getting killed young, and their bright career gets, ended essentially. Okay, what are people saying here? Covert Operative is saying Angel Acosta, Knockout, CP, Freshmart, Kenshiro, Edgar Valerio, Juan Francisco Estrada, fighters to watch. Oh, Edgar Valerio. I thought he's talking about Edwin Valero. Yeah, Knockout, CP, Freshmart. That's a guy from Thailand. Now, if you're listening to that name and you're saying, what the hell is that name? That's just the names that they give themselves over in Thailand to promote themselves. They come up with some real weird names like 3K Battery or something like that. So
I think the last name is based upon the gym that they train out of or something like that.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, one of the names is the name of their gym.
My name would be like Pornhub subscriber.
Oh, right. We got Low Place in the line. Yo, Low Place, man.
For 5 minutes.
Where's the chat, man? Where the chat, man?
Where the chat?
Yeah, where's the live chat?
You don't see it?
You might have to.
Okay, all right, I might be in
It's
it.
been acting kind of weird.
Yeah, okay, I was in the wrong one. Why y'all start a new stream?
Oh yeah, well
We had some
no, we
guys
didn't.
take over.
We had a special guest coming over, and he tried to fuck things up. I think you know who I'm talking about, Lo, please.
What happened there? What he put on screen?
I don't know. He was Abraham Lincoln with some weird static sound trying to fuck the stream up. But I mean,
Oh.
listen, ADD motherfuckers. I mean, we want crazy people in here, but people with ADD, you just fuck up the whole show. So keep that ADD out of here.
Good thing I got ADHD.
Exactly. There you go. By the way, Lo, please, I want to ask you, what the hell was going on in your hangout? Were people accusing you and Precise Puncher of being in cahoots?
It was a lot of leg pulling, trying to like it all stemmed from a lot of people didn't want to see Adonis Stevenson get this fight. Like
What, against
a
Jack?
lot of people, like a lot of people. I'm telling you, man, it's a lot of people. And when the time is right, it's like shit. We gotta do something. So it was like gang up, and EJ don't care, but 68 has told me several times before, like, I can't fucking stand Adonis. He was telling me he think he's barbaric and shit, and I'm just like, God damn. And I get it. Now, if that's his opinion, that's fine. That's who he wants to be. But he started that shit. Next thing you know, he just kept agging it on and kept agging it on, going on and on. So it's nothing. It's a lot of people leg pulling, and I got time for it.
Yeah,
but why don't they want that
fight?
Because it's a lot of people. It's like the Andre Ward protection in a way. I mean, some of them have a liking to Andre Ward and they don't want to see him outdone. And it just is what it is. I believe that they are outdoing him. Badu Jack is trying to be a 2-time lineal champion, some Andre Ward has never tried for. Badu Jack is rightful the lineal 168-pound ring champion, lineal champion. This man fought 6 former current champions in a row, and I think he's not a favorite of people.
He's underrated.
And yeah, he truly is. He's my pound for pound number 3, so not by me. I'm just saying. He's one of the only people I see out here doing boxing right.
People are jealous that Badu Jack is gonna, like, he's gonna overshadow.
It's not just Jack.
Okay, Stevenson as well.
Jack. It's not just Jack. They know this is a like people. It's really not Jack. It's Stevenson. They didn't ever want to see him get a fight. It's more fun, for whatever reason. It's more fun to poke holes in him and say, "Oh, he don't get no fights. He's a pussy. He's Adonis Chickerson, Adonis Duckinson." It's more fun for them to do. Like people that come in my comment section, it's fun for them to do that. So a lot of times I've just noticed, like, seeing them get that fight, a lot of people showed up and a lot of people had, not apologies, but I don't know. To me, it seemed a little bit off. I can't really explain it, but people seem like they didn't want to see that man get a fight.
So what do you think about Sean Newton saying that it's a great fight, Adonis versus Jack?
He got no choice but to be saying that. If he's not saying that, he's not credible.
No,
he better be saying that.
I'm just shocked that boxing fans are not happy that Adonis Stevenson is fighting Badu Jack. I mean, that's a great fight. I don't understand.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I've never heard anybody complain about that fight.
I got a question about that I find interesting, like, because 3 months after Badu Jack beat James DeGale, there was hype about Stevenson and Jack, right? And it was real hype. It was real buzz. Now, let me ask y'all, if that would have been 3 months after the DeGale and Jack fight and DeGale was the one having hype about fighting Stevenson, how would y'all be taking that?
I wouldn't care. A good fight.
DeGale Stevenson? No,
Well, I mean, what do you mean? Is it better? I don't know. I think Badu Jack is a better boxer, so
That's what I'm saying.
okay. But if Badu Jack loses to DeGale, then DeGale is a better boxer. Then I would probably change my mind.
No, I'm saying the fight happened the way it happened. Like, think of the fight the way it happened. It happened. But 2 weeks after the fight, James DeGale comes out and says, me and Stevenson playing, and Stevenson wants to fight me. I would think Stevenson is a cherry picker. Because I know Badu Jack. Like, I think this is the fight of the decade. I think 2 lineal champions are in the ring. 2 ring champions. 2 guys who have had ring belts haven't been beaten. The decade. Pacquiao Marquez, not better than this. Marquez was not fighting 5 champions in a row before he fought Pacquiao. He was picking and choosing so he could survive and stay on his feet. Nah, man.
Fight of the
Best fight of
decade?
the decade. The best one of the decade that's been made for me. It easily is. I'm ecstatic. I've never been happy as a boxing fan, for real.
So are you gonna try to make the trip over to Canada?
Look, I have 4 months. A full 4 months. If they make a venue, they get the venue right. I make good money. Don't spend and waste a lot. I should splurge on myself once, man. Maybe, maybe.
Oh, maybe. I thought you
Maybe.
said.
I gotta be honest. Before for a sporting event, it didn't go well. I don't know if y'all watch college basketball, but I was all the way in North Tennessee. I was in North Tennessee. I was visiting some people I know, and I shot from North Tennessee all the way to Houston, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
13 hours, and I watched the North Carolina Tar Heels face the Villanova Wildcats, and I love North Carolina. Villanova hit a fucking shot from fucking half court at the last second, and I told myself no more live events for me because I will blow this shit up. I'm better in front of the TV, but this, I don't care about boxing as much. I care about my Tar Heels, but boxing, I'm more or less like, you know what I mean? So
All right, so that's a maybe then.
It's a very hard maybe.
Because you had said before, hey, listen, if the fight happens, I'm definitely there. Now you're changing your tune and saying, maybe. I'd rather watch college basketball.
It's just like, I know I won't enjoy it. I won't enjoy it as much there, man. It hit me like, man, I love sitting in front. Man, I got a projector that's the size of a whole wall, man. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Damn
I saw that
TV.
during the stream.
Yeah, and that ain't even half of it. Like, it can go even further back, and you can be watching shit, and it's just like, man, I enjoy that shit. Like, just sitting on the floor watching it, like, it's crazy. But I'm wondering, like, I know I can get in the car and pass the border, nothing, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
What scares me is the tickets when you get. Even though I don't have no charges and nothing like that, I just fear airports and shit. So if I don't want to drive because I'm all the way in the South right now, but I mean, I might have to represent, man.
Well, let me tell you something. Canada can be pretty tough when it comes to letting people in, especially if they do have charges or any type of inconsistencies in their record. So it can be a pain in the ass. I mean, I don't know. It would have to be worth up to you if you want to
even driving.
Yeah, even driving, man.
Yep.
Oh my God, man. I thought you didn't have to show any ID or nothing when you passed the border.
Yeah,
No,
you do, man.
Yeah, you do, man. Otherwise, they let anybody in.
It's not the EU there.
Yeah, this is in the U.S.
so
open
you
borders.
got-
for everybody.
So if it's in Montreal, I got a quicker trip.
It's in
I got 3 more hours. What about Toronto? Toronto is more south than Montreal,
it's gonna
but
be
they
in
said it's
Quebec.
going to be in. They said Quebec City.
Yeah, it's in Quebec City.
Tough.
It just says Quebec. It doesn't say. It says the province of Quebec, which includes Montreal and Quebec City. But that's pretty much it.
Oh, Toronto. Toronto will be quicker.
Yeah, but Toronto isn't really that. I mean, there's some strange things going on over in Toronto. I wouldn't recommend it right now. I mean, if you're just for tourism, yeah, but careful with the people over there is all I'm saying. Sean Newton is saying driver's license and now a passport too. So yeah, pain. It's a pain. B Prob KR says after 9/11, Canada is a lot more difficult to get in. Sanctus Deus Core says Bucho Stevenson can get out box, but that left is lethal. You have to be in the zone to go 12 rounds versus Stevenson. All right, so let's talk about that fight since it seems like it's done. Stevenson he's getting older. Baidu Jack, am I correct in saying? And Ray, I'll start off with you. Am I correct in saying that Jack right now is in his prime?
Yeah, I would agree.
Low, please.
From its performances, yes. Yes.
What do you
It doesn't
mean?
get no more pro.
Wow, Butcher, you have a problem with what he just said?
Well, either he's in his prime or not, man. Unless he's gonna get old in one fight, which is always possible in boxing. But I mean, let's be honest. Who has the age advantage here? Who's fresher?
Well, it's
who's been a bit more active? It's definitely Badu Jack. I mean, this Stevenson is 40 years old, 2 fights in 2 years. I mean, this is. I mean, I would be concerned if I'm a Stevenson fan.
Yeah, year layoff wouldn't it be? He's gonna be a full year, right? Nearly.
Yeah. And 1 fight in 2017, 1 fight in 2016.
It's just gonna tell you his level. If he goes in there and he does something.
What if he gets outboxed, man? What would you give? What are you gonna say? Are you gonna? Well, it's obviously gonna be the age.
By that one dude until the fifth round when he landed that short hand.
Seen Stevenson for two, 3 different times already come off year layoffs and just knock people the fuck out. Like he's that's why I'm telling you something's different about dude. That's why when I tell people, yo, don't laugh when I say pound for pound #1. Something is literally different about Adonis Stevenson. He has never had a prime. When you look at his age, the man has never had a prime. 36 years old as a champion. 35 years old.
Now, and
it doesn't matter. So Badu Jack better not go in there thinking, oh man, he ain't fought. Man, he will lay your ass out.
And by the way, even if Stevenson is losing
out,
like let's say all the rounds, whatever, the fact that he has power, I mean, his morale is always high. I mean, because when you have that power, you always believe, like I think George Foreman said it, like you always like, okay, whatever, I'm losing the fight, but I have the power and I can end it at any second.
Yeah.
So
Deontay,
that's what Stevenson has going.
I mean,
now.
Deontay Wilder. Yeah.
But hold on, Ray, you made a good point that Thomas Williams Jr. was giving Adonis Stevenson hell before he knocked him out.
He can be outboxed very easily, but like I said, he just got that left hand, and that's an equalizer.
I don't know if you could say he was outboxing him. He did what Adonis didn't expect. Like he walked into fire, and what Adonis said after the fight was the truth. Adonis said, I fought fire with fire. Because he just said, oh, you want to walk them? What did he say in the post-fight interview? You put the pressure, I put the pressure. Like, I thought that was so damn funny. Because he can't talk. He can't speak English. Birthday, Aliska. You know? So, shit. Look, I never seen nobody outbox him. I saw Thomas Williams get physical with him. And he was like, damn, like it took him around like, okay, I'm not going to be able to hit him with the left and hurt him. Got to go to something else. And when he did, that's all that mattered, man. Like, it says something about him that he knows he's not. He calls himself Superman, but he knows, like, I'm not inhuman. You know what I mean? I'm a human being. So if you can adjust to me, I got to adjust to you. Some people with power never adjust. Badu Jack could be in a lot of trouble. That's with anybody, though, man. I give him a lot of respect for taking this damn fight because he didn't have to.
Now, you said Thomas Williams Jr. was getting physical with him, and he was. He was fighting him on the inside. He was landing some good body shots. Badu Jack, when he fought DeGale, especially in the late rounds, he was getting physical with DeGale, getting some nice body shots in there, you know, pushing him around with the right hand. Can he do that against, even if it's a 40-year-old Stevenson?
I don't doubt Badu Jack. I don't doubt Badu Jack, but when you say that name Stevenson, man, ball games change, man. They literally do. Like, it keeps the distance very well. If you don't want to keep the distance, if you don't let him keep the distance, if you're not respecting him and you're just walking through anything, he's going to show you, okay, fuck the distance. Show me you can fight. And I do believe Badu Jack's going to have the better combinations on the inside, but like I said, even with Stevenson on the inside, all it takes is one to change the damn fight. Like, I believe it was you, BDA. You said there was some person that told you when they fight him, the left hand is just a total game changer. Bam. Yeah, like, get on the inside if you want. You might get hit with an uppercut. He hurt Thomas Williams with body shots. He hurt him with uppercuts. Man, it's ridiculous, man.
Yeah, man. That left hand is the ultimate equalizer. Now, Sean Newton is saying that Badu Jack is there to be hit, and I think we know what he's referring to, that his only loss was by knockout. And so if he can get hit, and Stevenson, if you get hit by Stevenson, there's no way around it. You're going to either get stunned or you're going down or you're going out. Badu Jack, by the way, Badu Jack isn't a young man. He's 34 years old, which is sort of old for a boxer. So it's not like he's completely in his physical prime. But then again, here's the thing, and we're going to talk about this fight more as it approaches, but if you want to talk about Badou Jack's chin being his flaw, then you have to say that Adonis Stevenson's flaw is his stamina, because he doesn't have the greatest stamina. He faded against Bika, he faded against Fonfara in the first fight, and he looked like he was wilting a little bit against Thomas Williams Jr. So if somebody has the advantage in stamina, it's Badou Jack, and it would serve him well to try and take Stevenson into the late rounds, if he can take Stevenson into the late rounds.
Fonfara, I would say about the Fonfara stamina this. He tried to end him like 4 or 5 times in that fight, and Fonfara's a tough motherfucker, man. Like I mean, a lot of people don't give him credit, but I don't know nothing that you could say that he can't do in the ring that I haven't actually seen him do. And he can take some punishment, and he took it. And Stevenson still got off that canvas and threw punch after punch for 10, 11, 12 rounds. What was it? After the 9th, the 10th, 11th, and the 12th, he got up and he still went to war with him. So I don't know if the stamina is as bad as people make it, or if it's just like you don't see it enough to get a gauge on it. I think he lost interest with Bika. Like it was just easy, and you know, he was just in there playing and shit. But at the end of the day, you could look at it that way. But I know Badou Jack's stamina is amazing. This motherfucking gas tank ain't a joke. And Stevenson hates the fact that people think he's chinny. Thomas Williams Jr. hit him there. I can take a punch, power puncher. Like, he had the funniest fucking post fight that I seen ever. That shit was funny.
Yeah, but Thomas Williams Jr. fought like an idiot in that fight. I mean, he should have been a little more careful, man.
I mean, that's the only chance he had, balls to the walls.
Yeah, that's probably true.
You gotta respect that. Like, you know, he wasn't gonna win this outboxing him, because Stevenson in his own right, he's a master southpaw outboxer. He can do that if you play with him. He's just gonna land the left on you all night, spin around you, keep the distance. Thomas had to do what he had to do, but that's what Adonis. That's how he manipulates you, by saying, you gotta take risks with me, or I'm just gonna beat you from range.
Who's the best boxer that Stevenson has fought? Like, technical boxer.
What do you mean? As far as keeping distance, or like best technique?
Right, not keeping technique overall.
I would say keeping technique wise, I would say Tavoris Cloud. That man was closed up all night. Like, he wasn't really trying to fight. Like, and I wouldn't say he's a bit, like, just in that fight, he was just he was panicking so much in a way, and I guess fearful that his guard really never left. And I think Badou Jack is now going to be that, though.
Yeah.
People in the comments are saying, Sanctus Deus Cror says that Fonfara is an average Joe. It's no average Joe, actually. Sean Newton says, why fighting Bika, a career 168 pounder, a guy who was old and coming off a loss?
That's a shitty win, by the way.
It is. I told you, he's avoided back then, though, man. Badou Jack had to step into the division of fighter.
Elijah,
strongly avoided, man. 3 mandatories, man. Like you can't tell a mandatory I'm not fighting you. Like, it's no way you can avoid a mandatory, and there's nobody else in boxing. But he didn't pay Kovalev or Pascal. And Yvonne Michelle came out on Twitter and said, yo, later Alvarez has never got step aside money. And I don't think he ever should have, because the motherfucker got offered deals to take the fight. What does the champion look like?
So then what happened?
I don't know. I don't know.
So because you kept blaming Alvarez for being scared.
I think he is. I think it doesn't change that he is, because the fact that he got the offer to take the fight several times, I then wonder why. Why would you have to pay him step aside? That would be like, if I'm the mandatory, I could just rob the champion blind. Nope, not taking the fight. Pay me while I fight nobody.
He didn't get money.
You can't allow that.
It's the same thing, because Alvarez is fighting on that undercard, and he's not fighting Vosdick anymore.
Yeah, true. He's a ducker. He don't want none.
So he doesn't want to fight at all. I mean, that doesn't make sense to me.
Get paid. Why fight when you can get paid, right? Still be a mandatory. And keep
He's not getting. Is he getting? No, he wasn't going to get any money for not fighting.
No, he got a new contract. Yvonne Michelle gave him a new contract, and that's all he's working with. He's not working with step aside money.
Well, he
He's
has
even
to
said
fight,
it.
no?
Like I remember, yeah, but he's gonna pick bullshit fights, and
Oh.
maybe they make him fight Marcus Brown. That would be great, wouldn't it? Him and Marcus Brown, right? It'd be good.
All right, to
But
me, it's Yvon Michel
come on.
who's devising this whole plan, right? So basically, he wants to keep Alvarez as the number one contender for the WBC.
Probably why he's not fighting Vosvic, because he would have lost that fight.
Yeah, but the WBC mandated that fight.
It would have been a good fight.
There's ways to get around it, man. Mucking money talk, man, and the WBC is crook as fuck. Everybody knows that.
He said, Yvonne Michelle said he has a contract with Oleg. No, excuse me. Later, Alvarez that says he still gets a title shot. I believe it's 2018 or 2019. So he doesn't even need the WBC mandatory position. He can work at his own rate. He got the money he wanted to get for the new contract with Yvonne Michelle. I don't respect him. Like, he held up a division and he held up a champion. So he held up a lineal title transaction or whatever it would have been. It could have been a change in the guard. He held this shit up.
Well, the division hasn't been installed. I mean, Kovalev Ward, Kovalev Pascal, Kovalev after that, before that Hopkins. I mean, we've had like heavyweight fights. We've had like heavyweight. It's the only thing that hasn't been going anywhere is Stevenson's career.
Yeah, now it's kind of flipped over. Kovalev's like fighting the worst two opponents he's ever fought in a row. And now Stevenson's getting the fight. So it's like, it should have never got to this. They should have fought each other. They should have fought each other, and they shouldn't. I felt like Kovalev just knew he'd get more credit name-wise. Because, I mean, like I always said about Pascal, he's not a better opponent than Fonfara. He did nothing prior to the fight.
He was a lineal champion. How far do you want to go, though?
No, he was a former lineal champion. He took like 2 or 3 different layoffs.
He was a former.
Yeah, he took like 3 different year layoffs and fought nobodies, and then he fought Butte, and he almost got knocked out late. He was actually nothing. He was a name, and they gave credit for that. But I think Fonfara would have beat just like Yuneski Gonzalez beat Pascal. Fonfara would have literally outboxed him and beat him up at points. Gonzalez can't box like Fonfara can.
I don't know. Pascal is pretty inconsistent, so I have no idea which Pascal would have shown up.
The only one that can show up, the one that's not here, the one that's not there. He's just not there, man. It's like you retired. You're looking at him in the sense of what he was. Like he knew that when he took them layoffs, he knew what he was. He was fighting with himself, and he came back and he showed that he wasn't any good, man.
All right,
they should have only got credit for if they fought each other. They should have never got allowed to Kovalev rematch. Pascal and Stevenson should have never rematched Fonfara. They should have been fighting each other, but that's how it happened. But
who's gonna concede? Though the thing, it's different promotion. I mean, it's not that it wasn't an easy fight to make.
It wasn't promotion. It was the companies. It was HBO and Showtime. That was what caused.
How are you gonna do that, though? I mean,
they're not. I mean, the only time that HBO and Showtime worked together was fucking
Tyson Lewis and Tyson Lewis. Unless one fighter was gonna go to another network, but I believe Kovalev had an HBO contract.
No. At the time, the HBO exec said we won't be holding up any fight. That's why Kathy Duva was adamant about and it was an agreement. If you win, we're doing it on your side, like HBO, and if they win, we're doing it on Showtime.
But there was no way they're gonna win. There was no way they're gonna beat Al Haymon.
Yeah, but she knew that.
At that time. Well, she's dumb for saying that shit. But
no. It's not that she's dumb. It's that she saw then, I can lead this person. I can make money with Pascal.
Exactly. No, she's not dumb. I know. This is what I think happened. Then they knew that they could get a Hopkins and Pascal fight, 2 big money fights on HBO, or selling yourself to Al Haymon, because Al Haymon was gonna he was gonna win that purse bid.
Well, I mean, there's no excuse not to fight.
So why would you lose complete control? And I mean, so they took the path.
I mean,
you
but
still
you
had any
can't let
control.
agree into stuff. You can't let Kathy say, "I'm going to agree to this," and then I'm going to throw it off, and then we look
Well,
at
whatever
another
she
man's
said, like I don't
resume.
really put emphasis on what people say. I look more at what they
No,
do.
you can't do that. You can't do that. You got to
It's
make.
like
You got
when
to make sure.
Golovkin, like when Abel Sanchez keeps talking about like, oh, I Golovkin can fight between 168 and 154, and then everybody took it
But
like
that's his trainer.
it's like
That's
the
not the
word, and
promoter. That's
everybody
not
took
the
it like as,
promoter.
oh, so that
That's
means
not the
that he has to
promoter
fight
that handles
everyone at
business.
168. Like just because they said it doesn't mean it's true. I mean, they said at a time right after a fight, they were all hyped up, and they go like, yeah, we're calling out like Golovkin is able to fight between 154 and
Yeah,
168
but
because
like you just said, Kathy Duva wasn't after fight. Kathy Duva was in
no, I know.
negotiations for her fighter. And Abel Sanchez is not a promoter. He's a trainer with a big ass mouth. I agree.
Well, you keep quoting Abel Sanchez, man.
I do, but I'm just saying, and they haven't. I do quote what he said, some of the things he said, because I don't
Well,
agree with him. But I know he's full of shit, and I think his fighter is too, and I think
well,
Tom
don't you think
Tom
promoters are full of shit too,
same
man?
promoter. Tom Loeffler is the same promoter that told me Hagler Hearns rematch. Two. That I don't trust him. He's full of crap.
Well, yeah, exactly. So I don't know why you keep going back to what Cathy Duva said. I mean, I'm looking at you understand.
Because
Okay,
she's a
no, but Lopez, you
promoter,
even said
bro.
it. They took the best path for their fighter, for his
I don't
fighter.
think they did. I don't. No, let me tell you why they didn't. Because he lost his title for $2 million, and then he fought for a damn blank check the next time and got hit in the nuts. He could have made that one. He supposedly got paid $3 million over these two fights. He could have made that in one fight with Adonis Stevenson and became the lineal champion and undisputed champion of the world. Instead, they went this ridiculous route, and now he's stuck fighting Igor Macabra, whatever the hell his name is.
Nah, you're forgetting the fact he fought Hopkins, he fought Pascal, he fought Ward twice on
Yeah, but he
pay-per-view. I mean,
lost.
you're just jumping ahead of like you're
He
jumping over
lost.
all those fights.
He lost. But let's be honest,
Okay,
those
sorry, he
weren't the
won the
fights.
first fight. He got robbed the first time. Okay,
No,
second,
hey,
like
I
he
thought
and
it was a close
whatever.
fight.
Even
I
if
thought it
he
was a
did
close
lose,
fight.
so what if he lost?
The first fight was very close. I didn't think that nobody deserved to win, but
I
I personally did think the
wow.
world was nasty. But at the same time, that's why you don't fight him. You don't fight these Salido
Well, hold
guys
on.
like that. You
You
don't do
fight.
that. You
He was a pound for. He was considered by a lot of people as a pound for
What do you
pounder. It
mean
was
you
a
don't
money
fight
fight. I
the
mean,
top
I think you would
guy?
have taken that fight.
But
You would have
yeah,
taken
but
the fight.
nah, man. You tell Ward to fuck off. You fight Stevenson, and you make
Are
more
you
money.
serious, man? That's
I'm
everybody
telling
was
you,
asking
I'm
for that
right in the
fight.
long run. Look how right I am. Ward hit that man in his dick. He robbed him of everything that he had, punching him in his dick.
I understand, but Lopez, as a boxer, you want to fight. I
Well,
mean,
that's
that's a.
money.
It was a reasonable fight. It was a money fight. Kovalev was fighting a
Not for
pound for
Kovalev.
pounder because of what?
Not for
Because of the
Kovalev. It wasn't
outcome.
a money
Okay,
fight.
well, I'll put it to you this way, man. Why would you fight Stevenson? I mean, who knows if there might be
$4
a
million.
robbery?
$4 million. Hell, I'll sign up to get robbed for $4 million. He
Well,
signed up
then
to
you
get
fight
robbed.
Hunter
He
Ward as
signed up to
well.
get robbed. He signed up. He signed up. And look, Stevenson has never robbed anybody. Ward in his life has used his head and slit a man's face to get a fight stopped. That has already happened. Ward in his life has brought people from overseas and hugged and hit and all that nonsense. He's
I
already done it.
understand,
You know what you were
but
getting.
Kovalev. I mean, Kovalev thought he was going to win that fight. It
Yeah.
was possible. I mean, it was a close first fight, as you say. I think Kovalev won the first fight. A lot of people actually thought, the majority thought Kovalev won the first fight. So why not take a second fight?
I thought Ward won the first one, but I wasn't impressed with either
Okay.
guy. I actually did. Like I just felt like Kovalev he got taken out his game from getting tackled, kneed and shit. But at the end of the day, you did this to yourself. I told you, with Adonis Stevenson, you got a chance to go knock him out or he knocks you out. That's a
Okay, so
real fight.
fight
Don't
Stevenson in
go train for
Canada.
MMA. Don't go train for MMA. Like he was
Yeah.
literally doing wrestling takedowns and training. No, you could have been working on your left hook, doubling it up. You could have been doing something productive. Instead, you wanted to wrestle with Andre the Grappler Ward, and it paid. Look, it
Now
didn't
you're
pay
missing
well, and you lost.
but
He wanted his
you're
belt
missing the
back,
point.
man.
Yeah, exactly. He went
No, you
and
don't take
even
the
He
first
he
fight.
wanted revenge.
so
Tell
avoid.
Ward to screw
Not
off.
Uh,
everyone's gonna take the Adonis Chickenson approach to boxing, man.
You're
Ward
exactly.
ain't
Come on.
Ward ain't
Look,
like that.
you're not a chicken if you don't tell Ward to fuck off, especially if you fight better fighters, and there are better
what better
fighters.
fighters?
If someone
Okay,
took all
come
your
on.
belts and you lost a fight that most people think won, you can't tell
You
me
Stevenson,
can't.
you wouldn't want to fight him
Stevenson,
again.
Stevenson. No, I'm saying don't make the first fight. The man is
Okay.
not your opponent. Your career opponent was meant to be Adonis Stevenson. He
Okay, here's a question.
manipulated it. He manipulated it for it to be Andre Ward, and he lost both times.
He didn't.
and
He
lost a lot of
manipulated.
money.
No, come on, no, please,
He
nobody.
lost
Okay,
a lot of money. He lost a
He
lot.
had-
He lost a lot
so
of money.
Kovalev,
Bro.
Kovalev and Katiduva have so much power that they manipulated something
HBO.
to make it work.
Did you hear what Andre
Hold on.
Ward said about HBO pushing him up to 75?
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
That's what it was.
Hold on. Andrew Ward signs with Rock Nation for fucking multi-million dollar fights, money that he doesn't even deserve. Okay, he's at 168. I think he was he having trouble at making 168? I'm not sure, but anyways.
He was saying he could make it. He said he could make it a few times, and then when he went to 75, he says, "I'm not coming back down because I'm already here." I can respect that.
Okay, so there was a weight issue that may or may not have been true. There was also the who could he have fought at 168 at that time?
I don't know.
Badu Jack?
I'm
No.
not sure.
But so two reasons why he was gonna move up to 175. So he was coming to 175. That was inevitable, right?
Yeah, but
so he's with HBO.
It's still not. I would.
He's not gonna fight Stevenson.
You know what I do with Ward? The only way he gets
What?
with me if he become my mandatory, and I'm taking 70% because I'm not taking
now, hold on.
chances. I'm not taking chances with you.
I understand.
With your head. I'm not doing
That makes sense. That makes sense. But however, you have to understand that Andre Ward was considered a top. I think even the number 1 pound for pound boxer.
Yeah, by who?
Right? By who? By them? Okay, the majority. I mean, I know everybody has their own.
Yeah,
you have your own.
So my number 1 pound for pound boxer can't knock out. What's that boy's name? The Colombian guy, Elton Brand. Yeah, right, man. Yeah, right.
He was considered number 1 pound for. I disagree. Yeah. I mean, but the majority, the consensus was that he was. Andre Ward was number 1. You understand that? Nobody.
I get that. I get that. But there was a lineal champion in your division that when been mentioned with. You had beef with. It was the most organic fight. It was going to make you more money. You should not have went and lost to. You could have got Andre Ward at any point after that. He could have been your mandatory, and you could have told him you're taking 25%, you punk ass boy, or you ain't getting the fight. Instead. You paid Andre. You let Andre Ward make all this money, and you make your little measly $2 million, and you got your nuts clapped up. It doesn't work that way, man. It just you can't do it that way. That's why I applied Badu Jack, man. He didn't come in fighting for some fake WBA, fake IBF.
No. Badu Jack is with the PBC. That's an easy fight to make.
I don't know,
easier fight to make. Well, come on, he's been fighting on Showtime and with the PBC, so it makes sense that he's gonna fight Stevenson. But you're trying to romanticize and embellish the whole fucking deal.
No. All I'm doing is telling you what Kathy Duva said. She said we can go there, and when she said that, she set the boxing world ablaze. Kathy Duva ain't the problem.
She was being diplomatic. She was being diplomatic and shit. She was never gonna do it. She was never gonna do it.
She was doing what she was making Kovalev the fake people's champion. That's what she was doing.
No. She was just being diplomatic, going like all up around the table, which is bullshit. It's like some boxers who said like, "Oh, y'all fight anybody," but you know it's not true.
No, but she was taking the role to get behind me. And when people got behind her, they after she ducked that purse bid, they said, "Okay, it's fine, Kathy. You can cheat on me with my big brother or whatever the case may be." And they stuck with her. And you cannot do that. You can't allow such things that you're gonna keep look. You can't reward bullshit behavior and expect to get the right behavior. You can't do it. So I gotta call Kathy Duva out. It got to be said. I don't want to see other promoters doing it. This is, like I said, the fight of the decade has been made. In my opinion, 2 lineal champions in that ring, and I don't know the last time I seen that. I like they both still been dominant. Badu Jack, 6 current and former world champions in a row. Adonis Stevenson, 5 years as the lineal champion. It's the best fight that's been made this decade to me. For real.
Oh, what if Spence? No, yeah, you're right. No, not that you're right, but it's one of the best fights in recent times.
All right, now listen.
Because, I'll give you this. Just because Stevenson is a lineal champion. That's pretty much it.
Okay,
he's 40 years
we're gonna
old,
we're gonna have to wrap up in a couple of minutes, but yeah, go ahead, Ray. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Ray.
next subject.
I was just saying next subject.
Okay. Well, I just want because I was gonna ask whether whoever won this fight definitely belongs in the top 10 pound for pound. I don't think there's any question about it.
I don't know about that. There's too much talent 175 to just jump past and say the winner of this fight, because there's too many great fights in that division that can be made. I don't think anyone can call anyone in that division and say that they're going to be the best.
No, but that doesn't mean you can't rank them pound for pound. Like they that's just that on that. Like the division can be deep, but that's the purpose of rating them pound for pound, because they're going to be winning in a deep division. They're in a tough fight from a tough division. You know what I mean? So it's like,
be pound for pound, you need to clear your division out.
Nah, that's not true.
Or unify. You have to unify. Come on.
But hold on.
Maybe you'll make it number 10. Maybe you'll make it number 10.
I mean, come
you
on,
cannot
man.
be high up in the rankings.
Who's on the number 10 in some of these lists? He's not a unified champion. Like that, you got to win the right fights. You got to take the good fight. This is a great fight to put. Like they're already online.
Fight ain't gonna boost you all the way up to number 1. I'm sorry.
How?
Impossible.
So you mean to tell me Badu Jack has fought 6 former or current world champions in the world, and you're saying one fight isn't going to boost him? What?
No, you're right. No, he's a unified. No. Hold on. He can move up to like top, maybe number 6. I mean, you have to look at who's up there, right?
Okay, but Bucho, I'll do you a favor. Let's look at who Badu Jack has fought, and I mean, this to me seems like it's borderline top 10. Look, he beat Anthony Dirrell. Now I know people are gonna say, "Oh, Anthony Dirrell, he's not good," but he's a solid fighter. George Groves.
The better win than a guy like Ricky Burns or something. And Crawford's on the number 1 and 2 and shit. So, just saying.
All right. Then we have Lucien Bute, and apparently the fight was turned into a disqualification win for Badu Jack. I still thought it was considered a no contest, but apparently now it's counted as a win for Badu Jack. Then he has a draw against James DeGale, which, if you wanted to stretch it, you could argue that he deserved absolutely to win that fight. Then he destroyed Nathan Cleverly, and should he beat Adonis Stevenson, which again is another stretch, but if he beats
Groves as well.
Yeah, I mentioned Groves. So that's about minimum. That's 5 wins he's gotten so far, and if he adds Stevenson to his scalp, that's a borderline top 10 right there, man.
Who has a better win than Stevenson on the pound for pound list?
Okay.
Hold on. Here we go. Okay, wait.
But let me ask this. Let's put it this way. Hold on, guys.
Better win than
Let's
Adonis
put it this
Stevenson.
way.
Like I'm saying, Adonis. If you beat Adonis Stevenson, who else on there can say I beat a fighter the caliber of Adonis Stevenson?
Let's put it this way.
I'll put you Canelo Cotto.
Canelo Cotto was done.
No, don't give me that shit. You love lineal championships. Follow the lineage. Follow the lineage.
Fine. He was the lineal champion. I give Canelo credit for being the lineal champ, but Cotto was just holding the belt till somebody took it. Like he didn't even win it at the official weight. He was not a factor in the division. Or
what do you mean he didn't win at the official weight? What do you mean?
I mean, I'm just saying he wasn't even a factor at 54. Like we understood what happened there. He beat a guy with one leg, and he's parading around like, yo, I'm the man. You haven't done anything in recent times. He hasn't.
He did. He stops Daniel Gill. I know he's not a super boxer, but he's a middleweight. He's a middleweight.
No,
wasn't that a defense? Was it a defense? Was it a mandatory? That's not good enough.
Nah, it was just a voluntary defense. That's not good enough, man.
Cotto was the lineal champion.
And why did Saddam Ali beat him? Why did Saddam?
Seriously?
Yeah, like because he's not. Like Cotto
was inactive.
That was 3 years later.
You know the story, Lopez. Come on, you know it.
Nah, man, Cotto.
Cotto fought Canelo 2015. 2 years later.
If Cotto was a player, if Cotto was a player, he would have beat some of these guys at 154 holding the belts. Now, when he held them, he would have unified those belts because he can make any fight in the world that he wanted. He can.
Well, would you turn down a Canelo fight? Will you turn down a money fight like that? I don't think so.
I mean, that doesn't mean you got to turn it down. If you're that good, you can take the fight, win the fight, then fight Canelo as well. But he understands. I mean, come on, Cotto is that.
You're not going to risk a loss and then not fighting Canelo.
Are you really telling me that Cotto was a top fighter?
He was a lineal middleweight champion.
I get that. I understand that. You're a lineal champion doesn't mean.
Well, that's what you always say about Stevenson.
No,
lineal.
He's the man at 60, fine, but doesn't mean you're on the pound for pound list because you won. Look, you've lost at 54, you lost at 47, and now you're at 60, and you really haven't beat anybody except for one person that was on his way out with a bad knee. And then you've been running from Golovkin. You're running and you're fighting. You're draining people. Cotto was nothing, man. Like
So
he
you're
was just on
holding
his way out, man. He was on his way out. There's
so because Cotto lost before, you're taking credit away from Cotto beating.
No. I'm
okay.
taking where he was not his division. He was draining people. Come on, you know it wasn't.
More credit to him. More credit to him for becoming lineal champion.
Nah, I can't,
fighting
man.
in that division.
He manipulated the shit. All I can say is this. Lomachenko doesn't have a bigger win than a win over Adonis Stevenson. Gennady Golovkin does not have it.
Gennady Golovkin beat Canelo. I mean,
no. He was in the fight. Close fight, but
that was not a close fight.
Kovalev does not have a better win than a win over Adonis Stevenson. Badou Jack, man.
First time.
That's not a better win than Adonis Stevenson, bro. Ward been ducking Stevenson since 2000. He been ducking Stevenson since 2013, bro, and it's for a reason. Ward just ain't a good win.
Okay, so let's go back to your question. Does anybody have a bigger win than what was it again? The Stevenson? Okay, wait, hold on.
No.
Wrong beside K fucking knocked the fuck out Chocolatito. There you go. Number 10.
Chocolatito was getting beat up by Quadras. You saw the end of the rope.
Doesn't matter. Quadras couldn't put him down.
He wasn't dominant. It was not dominant. Chocolatito was not dominant. Them weight divisions, they only know to fight one or two ways sometimes. Them guys ain't dominant, man. They need to step their game up.
Yeah, well, say what you want. Chocolatito dominated divisions, and then he moved up and fought bigger guys, and he beat them.
He's a weight bully. And then he got
man. He
got up there to where everybody rehydrated to the same way he did, and he got his little ass beat because he did not know how to adjust. He was not one of the best fighters in the world, man. That's why he's not here today. We're having a rest in peace ceremony for him. These guys aren't better than the dynasty. If Badou Jack moves up there and beats at his king, at his La Land, then Badou Jack's the man, bro. Pound for pound, number one. Usyk might overtake that. I'll be honest, Usyk could be number one after the tournament, but Badou Jack is either one or two if he beats Adonis Stevenson, period.
What's Adonis Stevenson's biggest win?
He got several of them, but Badou Jack would be the biggest if he gets it. I think he'd overtake all of those big wins, unless Bellew fucks around and just wins a heavyweight title some damn way. Then you got to look back and say, my God, this man beat a man who went on to be the heavyweight champion, and it's possible. So,
oh my God. All right.
For me right now, he got several good wins, man. Several top wins. KO the number one guy with one punch. You don't see that shit often.
We can see that sometimes. First round knockouts are
one punch.
They happen.
One punch knockouts.
Well, so what, man? I mean, we talked about, okay. Well, Dawson.
That's what a performance is about. That's what performing is about.
Dawson drained himself.
Go out there and outdo.
Dawson drained himself to 168. Fought Andre Ward. Got whooped by Andre Ward. Actually, got stopped. I mean, something that's quite rare. Andre Ward stopped Chad Dawson. Then he goes back up and he gets knocked down in one round. Okay, was there an immediate rematch?
He didn't want it.
We cannot make an assessment. We're making an assessment of one round. I mean, I'm not. Yes,
that's all. If that's all he needs to win a fight, needs to win a fight, let's not judge him harshly. Let's look at him and say,
damn. Fonfara losing in one round against.
I judged that as impressive from Joe Smith, and he followed it up by knocking a damn.
How good was Joe Smith?
So-called legend clean out the ring. He stopped the guy that Kovalev couldn't stop.
How good was Joe Smith?
He's not a bum. He's not some bum. He stopped the guy that Kovalev couldn't. He beat two top. He's beaten two top 10 light heavyweights. You don't do that if you're a bum. You don't get lucky.
He's not a great fighter though.
I don't think he is great, but to be great, that's not what.
But he did win in one round. I mean, he did a better job than Stevenson against Fonfara though.
Two top 10 light heavyweight fights. Okay, he's a good fighter. Adonis, he's 2-1 versus the top 10. Joe Smith. Adonis is like 6-0 versus the top 10. That's the difference between a good fighter and I'm here to stay. All right.
Okay. Well, why couldn't Stevenson? Why did he struggle against Fonfara though? Why couldn't he pull off a Chad Dawson KO, magnificent KO?
You call knocking him down several times, winning every round except for maybe 3.
It was a tough fight. The first fight. We're talking about the first fight, right?
Yeah, but I know, but you win every round except maybe 3.
Didn't he get dropped? Did Stevenson go down in that fight?
Yeah, he did. He was exhausted. Okay. He got hit with the right hand. He got up. I mean,
I know he got up. I know he got up, but oh, come on. Okay, now low place. Let's be fair. You're dismissing that the fact that Stevenson went down. However, at some point we were debating, and you were saying that Jean Pascal was managed to push Kovalev on the ropes with a body shot or something. You gave credit.
Yeah, Pascal was shot.
You gave a lot of credit to Pascal. Now Stevenson gets dropped, and you just dismiss it.
I didn't give him any credit.
Yeah, you were making a big deal. You were making a big deal.
He could only fight for 2 rounds. He was shot. He was not from fight. He couldn't go on to beat it Cleverly. He couldn't go on to beat a Chavez. He was done. He couldn't go on to beat a Uneski Gonzalez. Clearly, he lost that fight, and then Kovalev cherry picked him again. I'm not lying to you when I tell you Pascal was and is still completely shot, basically. All right, Bute showed you when Bute had him wobbled on the ropes. He brought Bute up to his own weight, to his 175 weight, thinking I'm getting an easy cherry pick win in the payday. And Bute almost ended his damn night because he's that bad. That's just the facts, man. Like we're giving him a pass because of his name.
Well, let's go back to
giving him a pass because of his name.
I'm just saying that first. I mean, you cling to that Chad Dawson 1-round knockout, which is impressive. It's impressive, but let's be honest, it was a first round knockout. There's the fight didn't even go longer than that. So, okay, that's a good win. But then after that, we keep looking at Stevenson's career.
Got a lineal champion in 1 punch and went on to be the fighter of the year. We can't change that. 1 punch, fighter of the year. Now he's fighting a guy who has won. Badu Jack has won my fighter of the year. Hold on. Badu Jack has won my fighter of the year 2 damn times. Twice. He's done this twice. So Don is doing his part for me. He's fighting he's already his resume solid and it's just getting better. So if the mandatories want to duck him, the other champions want to take less money to fight other people, I can depend on Badu Jack coming and being a man. And he made the best fight of the decade. I'm proud of these dudes, man. It shouldn't be no nitpicking on this.
Come on, did you give credit to Andre Ward for fighting Kovalev?
I can't give credit.
You know damn well that
he's not
both
fighting
on HBO. They're both on HBO.
Fighting. But he's not fighting. He's wrestling and tackling, and he's not.
That's not the point. What I'm trying to say is because you give a lot of credit to Badu Jack for
being a real fighter, for
fighting Stevenson. But it's a logical path for a guy moving up in weight.
I would.
It's the logical. I know it's a PBC.
It should be a logical path for everybody that's already at the weight division, but they didn't make it the logical path.
Hold on, promotional
ducking path.
The differences in promotional companies and networks. I mean, that's a big hurdle to go. I mean, you know it, man.
No. Kovalev and his promoter will not get this pass when they have told me what they're going to do.
We go back to Katiduva's statement. We go back to Katiduva.
No. You have to hold these people.
I don't take it seriously.
Well, okay.
It's like politicians.
If Showtime right now, it's like if Showtime said the fight is on and then they took the fight off. I'm not gonna hold them to their statement. Bullshit. You gotta hold them on to their statement. You gotta make that. You're not gonna just walk around me after you said some shit. I'm done after that. I don't have no respect after that. You're not gonna lie to me, tell me you coming home from your girlfriend's house, but you've been all over your baby daddies and shit. No, fuck that. Keep it real with me.
I don't know.
She didn't.
We're going back to that Katiduva said this, and then she didn't do it. But we also agreed. We established the fact that it was the best option for Kovalev to go and fight on HBO. You did. You said you would. Okay, so you disagree.
I agreed that Kovalev was best. Al Heyman was rumored to drop $8 to $10 million in a purse, and this is a time when purse bids came out. Al Heyman put ridiculous amounts of money on him.
Yeah,
and
when he still had money.
Mad. Huh?
When he still had a lot of money. Okay, we knew he was gonna win that purse bid.
That's fine. But for Kovalev, she robbed him of $4 million potentially. It was a 50-50 purse bid. How is that good?
Okay, but hold on.
It's
Okay,
not
let's.
good. Especially,
Well, okay.
especially when HBO came out and said, "Yo, we didn't tell her to do a damn thing. You're not gonna put that shit on us. Like, we ain't blocking no fights."
Now, Steve Kim or somebody, was it Steve Kim or Gabe Montoya? They said that there's a lot of, we don't know what happens in the back, in the, what do you say, like in the backstage. So in the negotiations. So anyway, so what if, let's say, hypothetically speaking, HBO goes like, okay, well, you know what? Don't Kovalev, don't go fight on PBC against Stevenson. Stay with us. We'll give you money. So you stay plus the money for your fights. And that money
He
is,
ducked. He ducked still. He ducked. That's a duck. Just because money's involved don't mean you didn't duck.
well,
You know, if
I agree with you that the lineal champion is Stevenson. But I'm saying, financially speaking, it is an option. And then
understand,
fighting Hopkins.
HBO has a shitty boxing budget it has for the last 3 or 4 years. They ain't do that.
No. That's been happening in the last 3-4 years.
Yeah, they got a
Yeah,
shitty
but at
boxing
that time
budget.
when that thing, yeah, but
The
at that
purse
time
bid,
Pascal was still kind of
2000,
relevant.
it was
You had Hopkins.
2015, the purse bid. They have been having a shitty boxing budget for a long time now. They did not do that. They wasn't even thinking probably about Kovalev getting big fights. He wasn't a star. Why would they pay them big money to put on his network? He's still not a star. So I mean,
Wait,
it
hold
just
on.
doesn't make
He did
plausible
fight.
sense.
He fought Ward twice. I mean, that's something Stevenson would have loved to do,
I'm glad he
or
didn't.
any other
I'm
fighter.
glad. I'm glad he didn't.
I'm glad too because Ward is dirty as fuck. But I'm telling you, that's a
There
fight
you
that a lot
go.
of people
There
would
you go.
who wouldn't
And that's
have
why
liked.
Badu Jack. That's why Badu Jack just a better fighter than him. And that's why it's a better fight than Kovalev Ward because you got two guys who can actually fight and not run. And then when he turns you around and you're off balance, hit you in the kidneys and call them body shots and everything else. So you got two actual fighters here. Ward is not one. Kovalev made a huge mistake. He should have fought Adonis. He might have found out Adonis was chinny or something. But at the end of the day, he is stuck with one title. He's stuck fighting the worst resume he's ever fought. And Lord knows his
No,
bill was
he fought Andre Ward, and I know you're the one. Because he's not pound for pound. He
he
was the best
lost
pound
two
for pound
fights in a
fighter
row.
out there, man,
He
or
lost two
considered.
fights in a row. He lost two fights in a row.
Well, he got
And
robbed.
now
I'm sorry. He was
and
fighting in the
now and
U.S.
now
I
and
mean,
now he's fighting the two worst opponents he's ever
that's
fought.
that's like saying Golovkin made a mistake by fighting Canelo because he got robbed, and it was obvious that he was gonna get
At
robbed.
least
Well,
he
so
got
what?
paid. At least he got paid. Kovalev didn't
Well,
even
Kovalev
get
didn't get
paid.
paid against Ward. Are you serious?
Clown.
Well,
He's a
I'm
no.
sure
He
he
got
got paid,
dog,
man.
$3 million for both fights.
I'm sure Kovalev got paid handsomely.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot of money
Twice.
to go around. They didn't make a lot of
And
money.
Stevenson's the one who hasn't been winning any money. So I mean, this guy
Look,
is the one
all
that
I
ended up
know,
with the
all
shitty.
I
This
know from Nancy Audit. I don't know if you know Nancy Audit. I think that's the name. Y'all know her?
who? Who?
Nancy Audit from TVA.
No.
She put me in on it that the man's been making $2-3 million a fight. So I don't. He don't even need them to make money from what they've been saying. Hal Haim has just been funding it, but at the same time, man, he tried to make the best fights. Go for his lineage. Like I said, Badu Jack's a man amongst boys, in my opinion. When you
But
talk
okay,
about
then.
Kovalev, I don't respect Kovalev like I respect Badu Jack. I can't. He had the shot. It took Badu Jack one shot, and now it took him 3-4 months to negotiate, and the fight's done. That's how easy it is to
But
deal with
that's how
Adonis.
easy when you're on the same network or promotional company. So.
But when you have a purse bid, it's just as easy. You put the purse bid in, you win, you lose, and then you go be a man
Yeah,
about it.
but they don't want to go. They didn't want to go to with the PBCs. I don't know where that fight would
Yeah,
have
so
ended
they
up.
ducked. They ducked. Period. They ducked, man. I mean, we can't make it up. He ducked Adonis Stevenson, and therefore Adonis
Yeah,
Stevenson
and
has
at the
had.
moment, maybe they.
He's
I mean,
had.
who knows who? Because we're assuming that we know everything that was happening,
You know, we
and
know
the
purse
plan.
bids.
No, we know
We know
that
purse bids.
we know this. Kovalev ended up with HBO, and then we know that Ward, his eventual rise to moving up to 175 was going to happen. It was going to
We
happen.
know purse bids, but we know purse bids.
No, but
though.
hold on. But then maybe Kovalev's plans turned towards Ward once we knew that Ward was going to be coming up.
That's probably where they were the whole time because they said, "Yo, I think it's an easier fight." But Ward showed them Ward had something in him that ain't boxing that I always knew was in him that I knew Kovalev was probably gonna have trouble dealing with. It's called the Superman Stevenson curse. I don't want to talk about it, but it's just the facts, man. You just go for lineage, be a man, man. You never, you know. I hope we don't never have to discuss this again because
Okay.
I hope we start to understand that
Here's a
lineage is
question.
the most important thing in the
Okay,
sport.
low place. A question. If Stevenson gets knocked out or he's defeated, but do you think the Adonis Stevenson curse will end?
I don't know. I predicted it's going to end when it's. I predicted earlier. Some came to me said it's going to hit 20-0 and it's going to end. If I tally it all up, that it have the bodies it took, it's probably like 14-0. It's probably somewhere in there. I'm gonna tally it up one day. I'm gonna tally it up one day, and you're gonna see that. You know, I think it ends at 20-0. So maybe it does, maybe it does. I don't know, but all I can tell you is it's happening. It's real, and the best fight of the decade's been made. I am so happy, man. I've been talking boxing since 2:00 this afternoon because they done right by me.
Somebody's asking you whose resume is better, Ward or Stevenson?
Ward gets people to fight him because they don't fear him. Like,
no, who has a better resume? Who? Come on.
Yeah, I mean, you get that though, but so what? If
no, I get it, but I don't. See, you always bring in the Dockers, and I don't care.
I can't help it that it's the truth. Like if I don't like bullies, don't bully other bullies.
So Ward has a better resume. Okay, so Ward has a better resume.
Bullies don't bully other bullies. They bully weaklings. They bully people that they think they can beat. Like Tim Bradley has a better resume than Errol Spence, but Errol Spence.
Floyd Mayweather. Do you think Floyd Mayweather? Okay, so he's a cherry picker.
Who?
Andre Ward.
Is Andre Ward a cherry picker? Yeah, at times he is. Like he didn't fight the Colombian dude for nothing or whatever that guy was. He didn't fight Paul Smith for nothing.
Well, he said he was a tune-up fight, I think. No.
Yeah, he had 2 or 3 of those. He had, what was Edwin Rodriguez? Like, what the fuck was that? Like, he had several bullshit fights. But
okay, but do you agree that he has a better resume?
I don't know.
You have to agree. You have to.
Yeah. Look, all I can say is this: he has an okay resume, but he has no performance that I give a damn about. Like, so when you
so his resume,
it's okay, but that's not gonna save his life for me. Like, I'm telling you,
now it's about performance.
I'm smarter than that.
Now it's also about. So it's also about performance.
You got to perform with that resume, and to me, he did not perform. I mean, a dude can go around fucking saying, you know, I fucked 54 porn stars. Like, did any of them come back for a second go? You didn't perform. Is Ward a star after that big resume? No, because nobody give a damn about the performance he put on.
Because he's dirty as fuck and he's boring. Come on.
Okay, exactly. Well, I'm getting big. Look. Y'all want to know something?
What?
Hold on. I'm going to let her tell you so I'm not lying. What's today? What's today?
What's it?
Say it out loud. What's today?
Our anniversary.
Y'all hear that?
I didn't hear something about an anniversary.
Say the shit louder.
Our anniversary.
Okay.
Oh,
all right. So I want y'all to
know.
I want y'all to know. The biggest fight of the decade got announced on my shit. Whoa. All right.
Come on.
Hey, Superman Stevenson curse just blessed me. I just thought about that. I just thought about that, but I got to get out of here because y'all heard what it was.
Okay.
Hold on. Low, please. When you told, I'm assuming that's your girlfriend. It sounded like when you asked her, it sounded like you had a gun to her head or something. Like, come on, say the right answer.
She's trying to be shy. Yeah, I can see that now on the back end. I can kind of see that.
Well, listen.
Right, I gotta go. Yeah, it's good, man. Y'all go ahead and keep praising the fight of the decade, and we'll see how it turn out. And Lyra's gonna get his ass whooped by Jerry Hurd. I'm calling it now. I'm out.
All right, Low Place. Congratulations to you and your girlfriend for your anniversary. I don't know if he didn't mention if it was like a 2-week anniversary or a 2-year anniversary, but whatever anniversary it is, congratulations to Low Place, and I'm happy that the fight has been made. That is a very good
Stevenson anniversary.
Yeah, maybe that's.
And he won the lineal title.
Yeah, that's what I think he's gonna remember this day more.
He got married on that day to make it that much better of a day.
Yeah, he's gonna remember this day more for the announcement than for the actual fight. But look, guys, I think it's about time we wrap it up. It's been 2 hours. People want to go to sleep. So, on behalf of King Bucho, Ray, Low Place, and myself. I want to thank you for joining us. We had some nice surprises, some unexpected guests, and a couple of laughs in between as well. I also want to thank Sean Newton for being in the chat, Sanctus Deus Cruor, Cleefus McDonald, Vincent Marduk, Zapata Boxing, Akuma's Deception, I think he was in there too, B-Prob, KR, Zapata Boxing, Siauki Razak, cool name. Who else? Come on, who else am I missing here? Boxing Fairy Tale, that's an interesting name as well. Champ Ross, Cover Operative, Sean Newton again, Hawker Mustang, everybody. Hamed, who was in here for a while, we were talking. So I want to thank you everybody for joining us. Luis Catorce, I forgot to mention him. Thank you for joining us. We're gonna do another one of these on Saturday, and we're gonna try to keep on doing them during the week, especially at night, because scheduling and everything. So we're gonna see you on the next one. We're gonna talk about the Matisse fight, and of course I forgot to mention, we didn't even get a chance to talk about the cruiserweight fight between Brady's and Usyk. That's gonna be another interesting one, and I have plenty to say about that. I don't know about Bucho. And Bucho, what the hell are you thinking bringing up Stevenson? I mean, I know we were talking about Stevenson Jack, but did you have to bring up the resume?
I don't know, man. I forgot. I don't know how that came up, man.
I don't know. I'll tell you how it came up.
Well,
you brought it up.
We were talking about Stevenson against Value Jack. It's just been announced. I mean, we had to talk about Stevenson.
All right. Well, listen, I don't blame anybody.
Stevenson.
Was that?
So you should have known better than to mention Stevenson.
Yeah, you're right. No, yeah, my fault.
And that's it, man. There's no getting away from that subject once you get on it. Well, we were on that for at least 30 minutes, I think, this time.
Yeah.
It's only ended because he had to leave. So.
Yeah. Thank God. But anyway, listen, I thought it was interesting radio programming. I was going to say radio. What are we? We're not in the 1930s anymore. But anyway, it was an interesting program. Thank you guys for joining us. Again, we're going to do this on Saturday. Enjoy the fights. Take care out there. And we'll see you on the next one, folks. Take care.